record it from the YouTube channel. Go on and record it, and yeah, I guess I don't even know where to save it now either. So don't worry about that. I can pull audio from the YouTube. Two minutes. Feel free to roll the open anytime, bud. Yep, go ahead. You can roll. Can you feed me program, please? Thank you. Thank you. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. Hope you have a great night. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Carterville High School. I'm Dave McKenzie, my broadcast partner, the one and only Mr. Scott Hudson next to me here, buddy. And one of these teams is going to come out of here one and one.
Yeah, neither team played well last week. Of course, Herrin went to Waterloo in a lightning-delayed game that didn't get over till about 11:30.
I'm glad we didn't have to do that game.
We've been there, done that. Although it was at home a few years ago.
I've been out late with you before, and
That's right.
You kind of grouchy when
I
it
know.
gets to
If I don't get in bed by a certain time, it's not good for anybody around me. But Carterville, in a I say surprising loss. Not to take anything away from Benton, I was surprised that Carterville did not. They were really never in the game, losing 42-0. So both teams do not want to start the season 0-2. Obviously, Carterville's at home. Let's hope that they've got some injured players back, and hopefully they can get some things straightened out.
Coming up in just a few minutes, I had a chance to talk to Brent Dowell, and you'll hear that. And I said to him, I didn't know what to expect going into week one, and going into week two, I still don't know what to expect with this Lions team.
No, you don't. I think part of it is because they are so young. They don't have a lot of seniors. They're playing a lot of underclassmen, and I think that really showed last week against a veteran Benton team.
And there is no doubt about it. Carterville, it was a bloodbath out on that field as several of the Carterville players wound up leaving the game with injuries. There's a couple that are out that will not play tonight, but the majority of them all are back tonight. Rafe Tuttle, probably the foremost to come, the foremost part of your mind. He's practiced all week. He was on the field Saturday, walking around, and I talked to him before the game, and he seems like he's fine. So considering all things considered, this Lions team is ready to roll, and tonight is an important game here for the Carterville Lions. This Lions broadcast is brought to you by Charlie's Air Conditioning and Heating in downtown Carterville for over 30 years. Charlie's can handle any heating or cooling system. You can call them 985-2502. Both teams are in the locker room. Of course, the cross-county rivals just separated by about 5 miles or so. This should be a good game.
You know, in the last 3 years, this game has been decided in the fourth quarter, whether it be middle of the fourth quarter or late in the game. So no matter what the situation either team's been in, this has been a very competitive series. It's been very competitive games the last 3 years. You know, I think for Carterville, it all starts on the line of scrimmage, both offensive and defensive. They have to dominate on the offensive and defensive lines of scrimmage. That's where they got beat against Benton last week. And you've got to take care of the ball. And you've got your running backs have to run hard. And you've got to give your linemen have to give down and more time to throw the football. Find his speedy receivers. Carterville's got a lot of speed on this team, but if your quarterback doesn't have time to find them, that's really a moot point if you have any receivers at all. Last year when these two teams met, it was 49-35, the final score. The game was at Herrin, and really in that game, it was an offensive fireworks that went off by both teams, and Carterville got the lead and they would score, and then Herrin would come down and score, and it was actually a fantastic call by Coach Jason Carnes on an onside kick after they took the lead, in which they recovered and went down and put 2 scores between these two teams, and that wound up being the difference in the game. Well, and before that, Carterville was up 21-7, had the ball deep in Herrin territory, had like a 4th and 3, and obviously going to go for it, and they did not score. Herrin goes down and scores, cuts it to a 7-point lead, and then you talk about the onside kick that caught everybody off guard, and that just changed the complete momentum of the game, and Herrin went on to win. Both teams are getting ready to make their way onto the field. Here come the Carterville Lions out of their locker room to the left on the south end here at Carterville High School. And the Herrin Tigers are still in with their head coach, Jason Carnes. We're going to go on and take our first break. And when we come back, you're going to hear from the Lions head coach, Brett Dial, as we talk about last week's game at Benton and look ahead to tonight. That's all coming up. Thank you for listening to Lions Football here on News Radio WJPF. Yes, please. Hey, Eric, can you feed us programming, please? We're not getting anything on this end. If you're watching on YouTube, once again, thank you for tuning in. Thanks, Eric. What you're listening to is our raw audio. Scott and I back to the studio, so you won't hear the commercials during the broadcast, and if you hear me primarily talking to somebody, it'll be Eric back at the studio.
Eric, go to commercials. Go to commercials right after this. We've got the anthem. I don't know. They're going slow, so I'll tell you, just keep rolling them until I tell you not to. All right, Eric, you can just roll through the rest of the pregame spots and bring her back. We'll be ready. Yes. Welcome back to Carterville High School. I'm Dave McKenzie. Scott Hudson alongside as they are going through the coin toss right now. The ceremonial coin toss here at the 50-yard line as we're just a couple of minutes away from the kickoff here tonight. Of course, Carterville coming off a 42-0 shutout on the road week one. Scott Hudson at Benton. Herrin, on the other hand, went up to take on an emotional Waterloo team in a rainstorm with rain delay and come out with a loss in week one as well.
Herrin fell behind 16-0, rallied to get it to 16-14, and then Waterloo ran off the next 20 points. So the two problems both these teams had last week was stopping the run. So I think you're going to see both teams try to establish the running game earlier, just based on what these two teams' defenses did or maybe didn't do last week.
I came out to a couple of practices this week. Coach Brett Dial was very, very pleased with how practice went all week long. Said the guys didn't have their heads down after the loss. They know that they have to make some adjustments and make some improvements, and he looks for them to do so. And we'll find out here coming up in just a couple of minutes whether or not they are able to do that or not. This Lions broadcast is brought to you by Mayor Brad Robinson, the entire city of Carterville, proud sponsors and supporters of Carterville Lions sports. The free fair going on this weekend and coming up, or actually probably just started here in the last couple of minutes, the Twilight
5K.
Run, the 5K. They have Greenbrier Road north of Grand closed off, and so if you're there or wherever you're at, we're glad to have you with us here tonight. Week 2 of the Illinois High School Athletic Association football season. Nice to be home in our own press box. And
it is nice to be home, and this is a key game for both teams, obviously because both are 0-1, but more so for Carterville because the next 2 weeks they play at Murfreesboro and then come home for DuQuoin. This is the toughest part of Carterville's schedules, weeks 2, 3, and 4. And after losing last week, it makes each and every game for at least the next 3 or 4 weeks very, very important.
We are about set. Doing the kicking for the Lions will be Caleb Knight. He wears number 18, Carterville in their home blues, Herrin in their road whites, and back deep to receive the kickoff is Brandon Anthony. Yeah, you remember him from Herrin basketball, the point guard, fast as lightning, and he takes the kickoff at the 15-yard line, cuts it across the middle of the field, cuts it up, and he's met right there, but they don't wrap him up, and he keeps his legs chugging, and he gets out to about the 33-yard line, and that is where Herrin is going to start tonight, 1st and 10 in the first quarter.
Well, let's see what adjustments Carterville's defense has made. Again, last week, Benton just owned the line of scrimmage, and we're getting big chunks of yardage on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd down.
Of course, it's Chance Carnes. It's the quarterback for Jason Carnes and the Herrin Tigers. He wears number 6. And to his left in the backfield, he has his running back, gives it to him, number 42, and that's Darian Anthony with the carry, and he carries about 3 or 4 Carterville Lions outside the hash where he's finally brought down. Little to no gain, though, on the play.
Very good job by Carterville's left defensive line to spread that play out to the outside and allow your linebackers to come up and make a stop.
Gained about a foot. It's 2nd down and 10 from the 33. As Carnes puts a man in motion, that's Brandon Anthony. Looks to throw. He has pressure, throws it across the middle. Picked off. Carterville has it. That is Carterville's Nick Brown. He brings it to the near sideline. Out of bounds. Actually, that's Ben Hake. And a flag comes in late as well. What a great way to start the game for the Carterville Lions. They are deep in Herrin territory.
Well, a bad decision by Carnes. He got immediate pressure from the Carterville defensive line. It looked like he was going to try to run, but instead he threw the ball up. There was no Herrin receiver anywhere around. And now, not only will Carterville get the ball, but they're also going to be the beneficiary of a Herrin penalty, a late hit out of bounds.
Ben Hake with the interception, and he did a nice job on the run back as he intercepted it about the 40 and took it inside the 30-yard line of Herrin. And like Scott said, they're going to tack some additional yards into that. Carterville is going to be deep into Herrin territory. They're going to walk it off. Back to the 20, inside the 20. It's going to be a 10, 15-yard penalty, and that puts the ball at about the 13-yard line. So for Carterville, they get the ball after 2 offensive plays. They have it 1st and 10 at the Herrin 14. And
what we have, is there a flag? I don't see a flag on the play unless it's on the far side.
I don't know that everybody was set.
The official may not have
whistled the play.
Yeah, he may not have signaled that they're ready for the play.
I think that's what it was. So Carterville with a great opportunity here in the first quarter after the interception by Ben Hake.
You have to take advantage of this situation if you're Carterville.
Carterville's quarterback, Eli Downen. He gives it to Rafe Tuttle. Tuttle off a left tackle is wrapped up right there. He may have picked up a yard or 2, bringing up 2nd down for the Lions.
There was a flag on the
We do have a flag over here on this play.
It's probably a motion then.
Could be. False start.
That was number 34 on the stop, Caleb Stein.
Illegal procedure.
Carterville.
Got to take advantage of this. If you're Carterville, you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot with penalties. I know the adrenaline's probably at a maximum right now after that big interception. Just kind of got to calm down a little bit.
So that's going to bring up 1st and 15 from the 19 as Herrin elects to take the penalty. Down and in the Lions break huddle. In the backfield is Rafe Tuttle. Tuttle banged up in week 1, but he's out there tonight. Down and takes a snap, fakes it to Tuttle. He's going to keep it, gets outside the hash, and he's brought down after just picking up about 3, maybe 4 yards. We'll call it 3 right now. 2nd down now for Carterville.
Number 15,
Down and tried to get to the outside. It was a slow developing play, and it allowed Herrin's linebackers to pursue to the right.
It's a gain of 3. They mark the ball at the 16-yard line. Just a little over 10 minutes remaining here in quarter number 1. Down and has Preston Sumner in the backfield. It's the pitch to Sumner. Tries to get to the outside. Doesn't. Runs right into the defender, and they're going to bring him down for a loss, and it's going to be a loss of about 5 yards or so. And bringing up 3rd down and long now for Carterville.
At some point, Sumner's got to realize when there's no room, you've got to just turn and go north and south and run somebody over.
A week ago, did a lot of running sideline to sideline. And
well, he probably had about 300 yards east and west last week. I know that. But at some point, you've got to turn it up, use your size to your advantage.
3rd and 17. Ball rest at the 21-yard line. Don't let this go to waste, fellas. Down and from the shotgun, the snap is way over his head. It comes back to about the 35. Down and just falls on it. 4th down for the Lions.
Well, a penalty, 2 plays for loss, and then a bad snap. If you snap the ball over Downan's head, you've done something.
He's 6'4". With arm reach, he's probably about 7'2", 7'3", maybe.
So you start inside Herrin's, 15-yard line, about the 14, and now you're going to be punting from almost midfield.
4th and 33 from the 37. So for Carterville, it's going to be Caleb Knight to do the punting, and he kicks this one into the end zone. And it comes back out, and it's down right there. Turns out to be a great kick. It didn't go into the end zone. It hit on inside the 1, and on the recover for Carterville, that was Hendrick DeWitt.
I think the wind played a factor in that punt because he got it high enough up in the air. I thought it was going to go in the end zone on the fly, but it looked like it died because of that wind. And Carterville's got Herrin pinned deep in their own territory.
1st and 10 from their own 3-yard line to start on their 2nd drive of the game. This Lions broadcast brought to you by American Monument Company, proud supporter of Carterville Lions sports. American Monument Company located on South Court Street in Marion, where their monuments have that special touch. 1st and 10 for the Herrin Tigers from their 3. It's the give to the running back. He keeps the legs churning, fights his way out across the 5 to the 6, maybe to the 7-yard line. It's going to bring up 2nd and long for Coach Jason Carnes and the Herrin Tigers.
Well, so far I like what I'm seeing from Carterville's defensive front. They're making it really tough for Herrin to get that running game established.
It's a gain of 3, bringing up 2nd and 7. The ball rests at the 6-yard line.
Number 2 for Carterville, Ben Haight on the
Turned out to be a beautiful night for football. Warm today, but man, it cooled down a little bit. It's not cool in the press box, but it's can feel a little bit of a breeze blowing from right to left. Again, it's the give to the running back out of the backfield, and he's brought down for a short gain. And for Herrin, with the carry, that was Caleb Stein.
Yep, big 3rd down for both teams here. If Carterville can hold, Herrin's going to have to punt out of their own end zone.
3rd and 3 from the 10-yard line. Both teams have had a possession. Of course, Carterville intercepted Chance Carnes and had the ball at the 10-yard line, but couldn't convert that into points. 3rd and 3. Carnes gives to the running back again. Fights his way forward for a gain of 2.
I don't think he made
3.
it.
I don't know that he's going to be there
I think
either.
he's short. Depends on the mark.
Number 5 on the run, Caleb D'Amico for the Tigers.
D'Amico
No, they're going to give him a first down.
with the carry, and it was just enough as they do give him the first down. The first down in the game for either team. And it comes at the 6:57 mark here in the first quarter.
And remember, last week, Carterville's offense only got across the 50-yard line one time the entire game.
1st and 10, the ball at the 13. Carnes from under center. He gives it to his running back again. Looks like that's D'Amico, and he's wrapped up by 3 Carterville Lions right there. No gain actually on the carry. That was Darian Anthony, but no gain on the carry.
Again, Carterville's defensive line doing an outstanding job here in the first quarter. They have, whatever problem they had last week against Benton, they have solved that at least to this point.
6:15 on the first quarter clock. I'm Dave McKenzie, Scott Hudson. We appreciate you listening here on News Radio WJPF. Week 2 of the football season. Here come the Lions to the line of scrimmage. Chance Carnes from under center. He rolls out with it. Looks like he's going to keep it, cuts it up inside the hash, and makes his way out across the 20 to about the 22. I think that'll be short. Actually, looks like they're going to mark it at the 21, so about 3 yards short of a first down.
Yeah, he just took the snap and rolled to his right and followed his blockers. Got good yardage. He's going to be about a yard short of a first down.
3rd and 1 from the 22-yard line. Another big defensive play right here for the Carterville Lions. If they could keep Herrin pinned deep, force them to punt, they'd get fantastic field position. 3rd and 1 from the 22. Carnes takes the snap, gives it to his running back. That is D'Amico, and he's out near the 30, plenty for a first down.
One name we haven't mentioned tonight other than the opening kickoff is Brandon Anthony. He's their speed guy. He's the guy that can break a play for a touchdown. Herrin does not have near the speed in the backfield that they've had in recent years.
And Carterville, on the other hand, has good speed. On the receivers, you just got to get the ball to them.
Got to get the ball to him.
Somehow, some way. 1st and 10 from the 27. Carnes, powerhouse backfield. Gives it to the 3rd man through, and he's wrapped up. Nice job defensively by Rafe Tuttle right there on the carry. It's going to be a short gain of about 2, bringing up 2nd and 8 now for the Lions.
Well, if your defensive line can get good penetration, what that does, it does 2 things. 1, it keeps the offensive linemen off your linebackers. And 2, if you get that good surge, it allows those linebackers to fill those gaps and make those tackles.
The one thing you can see right now, though, Carterville needs to be careful because you can see they're really starting to pack it in defensively on the line because after that interception, Chance Carnes not thrown another pass, not even looked to. That could leave you vulnerable as everybody's in. Carnes gives it to his running back again, Anthony. He fights his way forward for a gain of about 3, it looks like, bringing up 3rd down again for Herrin.
Now 3rd, and we'll call it about a long 4, short 5. And even though Herrin is in that full backfield set, they will throw out of that. So your defensive backs can't cheat. They've got to make sure that it's going to be a running play before they come up.
3:25 now on the first quarter clock. This will be the 10th play of the drive for head coach Jason Carnes and the Herrin Tigers. Chance Carnes under center, takes the snap, spins, fakes the pitch, gives it to the running back. He's across the 50. He may be gone. Out to the 40, to the 30, where he is going to be brought down from behind by 2 Carterville Lions on the carry. That was Cameron D'Amico. Great run for D'Amico.
Yeah, he went off left guard and just took off. And I knew he wasn't going to make it because Carterville still had Anderson and Pearson and others with great speed that was going to catch him. But that's by far the biggest play by Herrin in this game.
It was a counter play where he cut back across the grain, brought it to the near side. Big yards out there. That's called chunk yardage, and that's always helpful. And it's going to bring up in a great scoring opportunity now as Herrin has the ball in the red zone at the 17-yard line. 1st and 10 from the 17.
And they are in 4-down territory.
Absolutely, as Carnes works from under center, full house backfield once again. Spins, fakes the pitch, and gives it to the first man through, and Carterville is right there to gobble that up and make the stop, bringing up 2nd down and 10.
That was number 34, Caleb Stein on the run for the Tigers.
Caleb Stein with the carry. Nice job by the Carterville defense right there. We're going to give him a short gain of 1, second down and 9 now from the 16.
Big test here for Carterville's defense. If they can keep them out of the end. And remember, Herrin has Baumgart, a really, really good place kicker, but I would have to think if you're this close, you're probably going to go to it.
Yeah,
go for it.
You want 7. It's Carnes. It's the pitch to Stein. Tries to cut it up the field, and he's brought down. Nice job defensively by Carterville. There, number 74, that is Drew Petska with the tackle.
Well, they're able to string the play out to the far sideline, and once he did try to cut it up, Carterville was there to bring him down for only a yard gain.
74 netted for the Lions. That is Rick Tuttle and Drew Pesca. That'll bring up 3rd and 7.
3rd down and 7 from the 14, 1:20 remaining. This quarter's flown by compared to what we saw a week ago.
It has.
Man, what happened and where did the time go? So it's 3rd and 7. Carnes jumps up under center, gets Carterville to jump.
No, they called timeout. Herrin called timeout because the clock was about ready to run out.
Ah, that's why he jumped in there. We're going to take our first break as well. No score, but Herrin is threatening with 1:06 left here in the first. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is Lions football on News Radio WJPF. .106 on the clock here in the first quarter. Herrin is threatening to score, though, after the big gain from their own 33-yard line to Carterville's 17. And the carry, they put them into scoring position. Chance Carnes is ready to go from under center. Gives it to the 3rd man through off the left tackle. He's wrapped up by a couple of Carterville Lions right there, but he battles his way inside the 10. They're going to mark it down at the 9, and that's going to be 4th down for Herrin.
Let's see what they do. They're bringing in the field goal unit.
Number 5, Cameron D'Amico on the carry for the
Personally, I think that's a break for Carterville.
I agree.
You know, you've got a very good place kicker in Baumgart, who this is a chip shot for him. But we'll see. Maybe Carterville can get a hand on it.
So it'll be Jake Baumgart, number 3, the senior kicker. The ball is at the 16-yard line. The kick is up, and the kick is no good. Wide right. Carterville holds and keeps Herrin off the board with 17.8 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Carterville gets the ball back, and we will return here in 30 seconds on News Radio WJPF. Carterville has the ball back after holding Herrin out of the end zone, and on the first carry, It's brought out for a gain of about 3 yards. Second down now and 7 for the Lions.
Sumner on a quick hitter off right guard. If you can average about 3.5 yards a carry, you'll be in good shape.
By number 20, Rylan Mezzo.
And that's the end of the first quarter. There is no score. Carterville with the football. Second quarter action next here on News Radio WJPF.
The score is tied 0-0.
60 here, please. 60.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I please direct your attention to the south end zone, where Carterville Athletic Booster Club is recognizing Murphy Wall State Bank as tonight's game sponsor. To recognize Murphy Wall's support and contribution, Principal Todd Rogers is presenting Murphy Wall Vice President Kyle Davis with a commemorative game ball. Please join the Booster Club in thanking Murphy Wall for their support.
Back here at Carterville High School, Carterville on the pitch. They give it to Carson Pearson. He tries to pick up a couple, and that's about all he gets, as it's going to bring up third down now for Carterville.
Yeah, Carterville just can't get anything going on the ground. A penalty on their last possession pushed them back. Then a center snapped the ball over Downing's head to bring up third and forever. And now Carterville's in that dreaded situation of third and long.
Actually, Carson Pearson lost about 2 yards on that carry. The Lions are in desperate need of a chunk play. They need some yards just for their own mental well-being, I do believe, is Downing from the shotgun, looks to throw, throws it outside, almost picked off. And there defensively for the Herrin Tigers was Cameron Everett that got his hands on the ball, couldn't hold on, but it brings up fourth down now for the Lions.
Well, it looked like Carson Pearson was behind the defensive backs at about the 30, and I couldn't tell if that's where Downing was trying to throw the ball. But the quick hitter doesn't work, and Herrin should get decent field position.
So the Lions will bring out Caleb Knight, the 6-foot senior. The snap over his head goes into the end zone. He tries to pick it up. Herrin recovers, and that's going to be a touchdown for the Herrin Tigers after the second high snap of the game. Caleb Knight couldn't hold on to it, and Herrin recovers in the end zone. Touchdown, Herrin Tigers.
Herrin had this problem last week at Waterloo with their center snapping the ball over Carnes' head several times, especially in the second half. And Carterville, who had a lot of the momentum in this early part of the game, has just squandered a couple of opportunities to take the lead.
At the 11:03 mark. That kick is up and good. And the score now is 7-0. Herrin Tigers over the Carterville Lions. Carterville's going to get the ball right back. And we'll return here in 30 seconds. 7-0 Herrin on News Radio WJPF. Seven to nothing. The Herrin Tigers just scored after a bad snap on a punt by the Lions. Herrin recovers it in the end zone. And they lead it 7-0 here with 11:03 remaining in the second quarter.
Mistakes, and more mistakes for Carterville. And it's really a shame because Carterville's defensive line has played outstanding in this first half. But what do they have to show for it? They're down 7-0 because special teams have given the Herrin Tigers a 7-0 lead.
Here's the kick from Herrin. And that is going to be taken on the far sideline. That is Carson Pearson with a football. He stopped. He started to run, and then he stopped when he saw the wall. And he's brought down short of the 20. And that's where Carterville's going to have to start. Actually, they're going to mark it right at the 20-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 Carterville, 10:56 left here in the second quarter.
Yeah, Carterville still does not have a first down in this game.
Herrin has 3 first downs, and they lead it 7-0. It was a costly error by the Lions. So Eli Downing from the shotgun. Preston Sumner in the backfield. Actually, Rafe Tuttle, he gets the ball, hits it out to the outside the hash, and he's tripped up across the 25. That's about the biggest gain for the Lions on the carry.
That may be the biggest gain by the Lions this year. Honestly, I don't know that they had a gain of 8 or 9 yards on the ground last week. But Tuttle, give him the ball, give him a little bit of room, and he'll make the rest of it for himself.
2nd and 2 from the 28 now for the Lions. Eli Downing takes the snap, fakes it to Tuttle, falls forward. It's not going to be a gain. Yeah, lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Nice job defensively by the Herrin Tigers, but it's going to bring up 2nd down and 2 now for Carterville. Actually, 3rd and 2.
Yeah, no gain. Nice play call, but Downing's the type of running back that it takes him a while to get to maximum speed.
Like a train.
Yeah, it's going to take him a while. So those quick hitters, it's going to take him a little bit longer to get to the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 2. It's the give to Preston Sumner, and he bangs his way out across the 35-yard line. Guess what? Carterville just picked up their first down.
And I like the way Sumner ran the ball on that play. He went straight. He didn't try to avoid contact, and he got a big first down.
36-yard line is where the ball is. 1st and 10 from the 36. Downing takes the snap, gives it to Sumner again. Big opening, cuts it outside the hash. He's across the 50, 45, 40, down the sideline where he's finally pushed out of bounds. Wow, now back-to-back plus yardage for the Lions.
And both back-to-back plays that Sumner ran hard. He got to the outside, and as soon as he got to the edge, he cut it downfield. And Carterville's got something going here.
And it's ignited this crowd here at Carterville High School. 1st down and 10 from the 39-yard line of Herrin. Downing puts a man in motion.
Herrin calls timeout.
Coach Brent Dial doesn't seem like he's happy. We'll keep it right here for a moment as he meets maybe he was just fired up. Maybe it wasn't that he wasn't happy. He was way happy as he meets his Lions on the far side, gives them a slap of the hand, and wants them all to get a drink of water. It's 86 degrees at kickoff, but there's a real nice breeze blowing straight out of the north now. Of course, I'm not surprised. Tomorrow it's only supposed to be 80 and 72, I think, on Sunday.
I won't even mention next weekend's weather. I'll just leave it alone.
We won't do that. Hey, this Lions broadcast, it is brought to you by our friends over at IBEW, Local 702, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, proud sponsors and supporters of Carterville Lions Sports, providing a better lifestyle for members, better life for all. Other games from around the region tonight. Cesar-Valier is at Cesar-Valier-Waltonville at Carmine. Jerseyville is in Marion. Fairfield at Johnson City. Benton at Sparta. Pinckneyville at West Frankfort. We'll get into some of those other games as well. We'll try to start updating some scores. 1st and 10 from the 34 for the Lions. Downing takes the snap. He looks to throw. Throws it deep down the left side. Wide open right there for the Carterville Lions. Touchdown, Carterville.
You could not have placed that pass any better than what Downing did. Bryce Anderson, all he had to do was just keep motoring, And he let the ball just float right into his hands. A beautiful pass by Downing and a great job by Anderson to get behind the defensive back.
The Carterville Lions do have a football team.
And they can score.
Nice job by Eli Downing to Bryce Anderson. It's 7-6. That came at the 8:58 mark here of the second quarter. The kick from Caleb Knight is up and good, and we have a tie ball game, 7-7. 8:58 remaining in the second quarter. We'll be back on News Radio WJPF. Let's just go 30.
Number 18, Caleb Knight is set to kick for the Lions. Number 4, Brandon Anthony is set to receive for the
Kent and
Lions.
Joy are watching online. We're glad to have you with us. Don't forget you can watch the game on our YouTube channel. Just go search Herrin at Carterville. 7-7 with 8:58 remaining. A 39-yard touchdown pass from Eli Downing to Bryce Anderson. Caleb Knight puts his foot into the kickoff, drives it to the back of the end zone, and Herrin's going to have the ball 1st and 10 from their own 20.
Well, it was really nice to see, Davis, after the mistake that led to Herrin's touchdown, the Carterville Lions came right back and scored. A lot of times you'll see a young team get down after something like that and just try to survive. But Carterville came out, ran the ball well, and then, of course, the big pass from Downing to Anderson to get the score back even.
Last week we talked all about the speed of the Lions. We talked about how good Eli Downing can throw the ball, but they never really got into that flow. And up until a minute, a half and ago, hadn't seen it yet. But, man, what a nice ball from Eli Downing. The speed from Bryce Anderson runs right under it, lands right in his hands as Herrin runs off tackle.
There's a fumble. There's a fumble.
And the ball was on the
and
ground.
Carterville has the ball.
And Carterville recovers. How about that? That pumped everybody up. On the fumble, didn't see exactly what happened. Nick Brown with the recovery. And Carterville has the ball deep in Herrin territory.
Boy, how momentum has swung here in the last 3 or 4 minutes. This is where Carterville really, again, I know I said it early in the first quarter, but I'll say it again. Carterville really needs to take advantage of this situation. You've got the Tigers on their heel right now. You've got the ball in great field position with a chance to go up by a touchdown.
1st and 10 from the 20. From the red zone for the Lions, it's the give. Preston Sumner off the right side, inside the 10, and a flag, and that's going to be a hold on the Carterville Lions.
Yeah, he would have been inside the 10, 1st and goal, but they're going to bring it back because of a penalty. And that's going to hurt.
This will be penalty number 3 on the Lions in the game.
And I don't think Herrin's been penalized yet.
No, I don't think they have.
Holding Carterville. Well, that hurts. Could have been 1st and goal from about the 9. Now you got 1st and 15 from the 28. No, excuse me, 27.
So it's going to be 1st down from the 27-yard line. 1st and 17. Downing from the shotgun. He looks to throw, throws it way wide. Intended receiver there was Carterville's Bryce Anderson.
Anderson was open, but Downing let him a little bit too much. Carson Pearson had gone out to block the defensive back. If Anderson catches the ball, he's probably going to get 5, 10, maybe 15 yards. But it was just a little overthrown by Downing.
Preston Summer checks out, comes to the near sideline. Rafe Tuttle in the backfield now behind Eli Downing. 2nd down and 17 from the 27 for the Lions. Downing operates from the shotgun. Hands it to Tuttle. Tuttle off right tackle. Inside the 20, down near the 15. Big burst from Rafe Tuttle, number 44. And it's going to bring up Third down now for the Lions.
And I'm starting to see a little bit of that offensive line starting to assert themselves for the Lions. They're starting to open up some holes that we didn't see last week.
For the first time so far this season, they're starting to do that. They've done an outstanding job here in this second quarter. Under 8 to go. Carterville has the ball. Third down and 8 from the 18. Two receivers spread left. Downen gives it to Tuttle. Tuttle jumps and is tripped up, falls inside the 15-yard line, and he's going to be about 3 yards short, maybe.
And Carterville's going to try a field goal. They're going to bring in Knight.
Caleb Knight has a good leg.
It's going to be about a 32-yard attempt on the far hash.
4th and 5. Line of scrimmage is 15. As Scott says, it's going to be a 32-yard field goal. The left footer puts the ball up. The kick is good. How about that? Caleb Knight with a 32-yard field goal. And that gives the Carterville Lions a 10-7 lead at the 7:10 mark of the second quarter. We'll be back on News Radio WJPF. Yes, sir. Yeah, recycle first half spots, because I'm sure there'll be a couple commercials here. Ten to 7, Carterville leads it over the Herrin Tigers after the 32-yard field goal by Caleb Knight. And how about that? That's the most exciting 4 minutes of Carterville football we've seen this season.
Carterville's first lead of the year, which is just as important.
Comes at the 7:10 mark. A kick is taken by Herrin. That's Brandon Anthony. Cuts it up at the 15, and he's hammered right there and popped and dropped short of the 20. And that's where the Herrin Tigers are going to start off.
Yeah, Anthony got the ball at about the 5. He was a little tentative coming up the field, I guess trying to find a seam. But he stopped at about the 20, and he got leveled to the ground.
Brought down by number 23, Zach Hansen.
Zach Anson with the tackle, and it's 1st and 10 now from the 20-yard line for Chance Carnes and the Herrin Tigers. Carnes, he'll work from the shotgun now. Two receivers right. He gives it to his running back where he's popped right there. Rafe Tuttle and one or two other Carterville Lions, but it was Tuttle that put his helmet in his chest of Darian Anthony. Nice job and a loss on the carry.
And also a great job by Luke Smolak. He was the one that just opened things up for Tuttle to make that tackle. Herrin's now gone out of the wishbone and gone into a spread offense, trying to get that running game going.
Marion leads their game 16-0 in the second quarter. Carnes looks to throw, rolls to his left, looks, going to have to keep it, tucks and runs, and he's ridden out of bounds on the far sideline. It's going to be a gain of about, we'll say, 5, maybe 6. And it's going to bring up third down now for Herrin.
Yeah, 3rd and about 4. Good pursuit by the Lions on the far sideline. This would be another big defensive stand if Carterville could stop them here and force them to punt.
3rd and 4 from the 26-yard line. Under 6 to play in the first half. Scott and I will break down the first half action. Coach Brett Dial below us with the headset, steps away. He watches from the backside of the play here on the near sideline. Carnes from the shotgun takes the snap. He's going to keep it. He follows his running back, gets it across the 30, the 40, where he's brought down on the far sideline. Nice job over there. I believe that may have been Carson Pearson on the tackle.
Simple play, snap it to the quarterback. He runs to the left. Had good blocking on the left side of that offensive line, was able to pick up a first down and more.
1st and 10 for Herrin. They're out near midfield. They're at the 42-yard line. 1st and 10 from the 42. 5.5 remaining here. Carnes, again from the shotgun. Has Darian Anthony off his shoulder, puts Brandon Anthony in motion. It's the give on the sweep coming the other way with the carry and brought down from behind. Nice job by the Carterville defense. It's going to be a gain of about 2 for Herrin.
Yeah, nice job by Ivan Jones and Preston Sumner. When that play started to come to our side, it looked like the running back was going to have plenty of room to pick up big yards, but the pursuit by Carterville's defense did not allow that to happen.
From the backside as well. Ran him down from behind. Under 5 to go now. Chance Carnes looks over his offense. 2 receivers right, 2 left. He's going to throw. Looks to throw near side. Throws it off the hands of Reese Hartline. Out of bounds, incomplete. Bringing up 3rd down and 8 now for Herrin.
Another big 3rd down for both teams here. You would think Herrin would be in a passing situation, but you've got to look for Carnes to take the snap and just run it himself.
Herrin has only 1 first down in this second quarter. They had 3 in the first. 4:35 on the clock. Coach Brett Dial jumping in front, yelling at his defense. He sees something. Carnes takes the snap. Oh, that ball almost picked off. Could have been picked off by 2 Carterville Lions on the screen. It falls incomplete. 4th down for the Herrin Tigers.
Great penetration by the right side of the Carterville defensive line. If they aren't there, that quick pass to the outside may have resulted not only in a first down, but a big gain, because they had a receiver that was open on the far hash mark. But Carterville's defensive line got there and blew the play up.
The most exciting, the best thing about what's going on with the Lions right now is seeing the excitement on the team. You can see it in the defense and here on the sideline as well. Herrin is set to kick. It is Chance Carnes. He finally does the rugby kick, kicks it out. It's going to go deep. Actually went out of bounds before it went any further. So Carterville will have it at about their 16-yard line. 10-7, the Lions lead the Herrin Tigers. This broadcast is brought to you by SIH, a comprehensive network of care. Visit online, visit SIH.net. 10-7, Carterville with the lead. Murphy leads AJ 15-8. That's about 7.5 left in the second quarter. Marion, as we said, leading 16-0. Murphy over AJ, 8-6 was the last score I had. And here it's 10-7. Carterville with the football. On the far side, enough for a first down on the big carry.
It's Rafe Tuttle.
That was number 44, Rafe Tuttle on the run.
They had it 1st and 10 from their own 17 to start.
24, for the Tigers, Rodney Childers.
On this possession,
That will be enough for another
1st and 10 now from the 31. Eli Downen breaks huddle, sends 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Preston Sumner in the backfield. He takes the handoff and he's wrapped up right there, driven back. He never even got back to the line of scrimmage, Scott Hudson.
Nope, too big of a surge by Herrin's defensive line. He had nowhere to go.
3:40 as the clock continues to roll. Downen wants to talk to his offense.
Preston Sumner was met at the line.
2nd down and 13, a loss of 3 on that carry. The ball rests at the 28-yard line. Both of these teams lost in week 1. Both of these teams need a win in week 2. 3:15 as the clock rolls. Downen takes the snap, gives it to Sumner. Sumner across the line of scrimmage, out, fighting his way. First down. That should be a first down for the Carterville Lions. He's really picked it up here in the last 5 minutes or so.
I think he got the message from Coach Dial this week in practice that, look, you're bigger than most of the linebackers and defensive backs that you're going to play this year. Use that size to your advantage. They're going to stop him just short of a first down. But I like the way Sumner's running.
Marion leads Jerseyville 16-0, that in the mid-second. Breaking news for the St. Louis Cardinals. We're just getting this. Former St. Louis Cardinal Chris Duncan, who had cancer, passed away today at the age of 38. A big breakaway play for the Lions, enough for another first down. That's just terrible news.
It is terrible news. You know, we knew that he was in bad health, and everybody thought he was going to be able to pull through it, but just sad news for the Cardinals and the Cardinal family, and just horrible news.
1st and 10 for the Lions, 2:13 on the clock. Breakaway, I don't see the
Tuttle.
number. Brave Tuttle as he fights his way for a first down. Man, they are just getting chunk yardage after chunk yardage now.
And they're doing a quick snap. They're not allowing Herrin's defensive line to get set, and Tuttle is just eating that defensive line up.
I think he's all right.
I think he's doing good.
I think he'd be all right.
I'd still be in a body cast, but hey.
Under 2 to go. The ball at the 38-yard line. Downing, he's looking to throw. Throws it deep down the right side. Man wide open. Overshoots him by about 4 yards. It was wide open, but it falls incomplete.
It was there. It was there. And that's the perfect time to throw that pass, because you've been running the ball, and now you catch him maybe looking in the backfield a little bit too long.
That was perfect. It was perfect timing, and I believe that was Bryce Anderson again that got behind the defenders. But the ball just a little bit out of his reach. So it's 2nd down and 10 now from the 33. Preston Sumner, the running back in the backfield. 2 receivers right. It's the give to Sumner. He runs to the outside, fights his way where he's pushed out of bounds near the first down marker.
He might be just short.
Depends on the spot, and it is going to be about a yard short. So it's going to bring up 3rd down and 1 now.
Well, if you want to cap a good first half, this is how you would do it. You run time off the clock. You don't let Herrin get the ball back in the first half. And you want to put an exclamation point on it, you get a touchdown here.
Minute 40 on the clock. Downing takes the snap, hands it off to Sumner. Sumner has a first down where he's wrapped up at about the 20-yard line, and the clock will continue to roll. Actually, it stops on the first down. But they'll set the ball, and the clock will continue to roll. 1st and 10 now for the Lions, as they are in at the 21-yard line.
Tuttle in the game, Sumner out. They're going to keep their backs fresh this game. They're going to give the Tigers a little bit of thunder and lightning. You give Sumner the lightning, and then Tuttle provides the thunder up the middle.
And that's the 4th first down for the Lions just on this drive. Play number 10 coming up on this drive. Downing has Tuttle in the backfield. He looks to throw. Fight pump. Throws it deep down the right side. Over. That should be a flag right there, as Bryce Anderson was the intended receiver and the defender for Herrin. I believe that is Brandon Anthony. No, number 40 for Gunnar Ghosh.
Gunnar Gosha, yeah.
He just flat blocked him right in the face.
And even if Gosha doesn't hit him, the ball's overthrown. So the Lions catch a big break with that really bad play by Gosha, as he just lowered his shoulder into the chest of the Carterville receiver. And Carterville will have first down just outside the 10. And Carterville has all 3 timeouts left.
Now Downing takes the snap, gives it to Tuttle. Tuttle, nice job defensively by the Herrin Tigers, as he has brought down about 3 yards short of the line of scrimmage, bringing up 2nd and 13 now.
Carterville's going to take their first timeout.
Murphy leads AJ 22-8, the 3:13 mark of the second. This Lions broadcast is brought to you by Home Renew, serving all of Southern Illinois. Protect what matters most with Home Renew. For roofing, siding, storm damage, repair, and gutters, giving you peace of mind. Call 694-9100. Call Home Renew. Under a minute to go here. 10-7, Carterville leads it, and they're threatening here as we come toward the end of the first half. Scott and I will go through the first half action, recap that.
Well, Dave, regardless of how this first half ends, this is a totally different Carterville team than what we saw last week. And we talked about the difference going from week 1 to week 2 can make, because you get to see game tape not only on the other team, but what you did wrong. In Carterville, I've been very impressed with the way they've played this first half.
2nd and goal from the 12. They lost 2 on that last carry. As it's to give the Tuttle. He tries to get to the outside, inside the 10, breaks away to the 5, touchdown! Reef Tuttle with a 12-yard touchdown run for the Carterville Lions.
Tuttle wanted to go off left guard, but they strung him out. He took it off around left end, and you're not going to bring Tuttle down with arm tackles, and that's exactly what the Tigers tried to do. He got into the end zone in Carterville. They are an extra point away from going up 17-7.
Caleb Knight will come in to do the kicking. Nice job by that offensive line as Luke Smolak comes to the sideline, gets a high five from the coaching staff. Caleb Knight with the green shoes, the left footer. The snap, down, and good. Carterville leads the Herrin Tigers by 10 with 47 seconds left here in the second quarter. We'll be back here on News Radio WJPF. 30, please. 47 seconds remaining in the first half. I'm Dave McKenzie. Scott Hudson alongside. Carterville leads the Herrin Tigers 17-7 at the 12 after the 12-yard touchdown run from running back Rafe Tuttle. And Herrin will have an opportunity with under a minute to go to see if they can get something positive going as well. The kick into the end zone. Caleb Knight has done an outstanding job on kickoffs this year.
There's no question about that. He hit a big field goal in this game. He's hit some big extra points. Anytime you have a kicker that can kick the ball into the end zone, that is, people probably overlook that, but it is big because you don't allow any returns, and the other team has to start at the 20. So, big night for Knight. Did I just say big night for Knight?
Big night for Knight.
That wasn't planned.
That last scoring drive for the Lions, that was an 11-play, 73-yard drive with 5 first downs for the Lions. Well done, Carterville. 1st and 10 from the 20. As it's Carnes, it's going to keep it. Cuts back against the grain, fights his way out across the 25 to about the 26. They might give him the 27, which they do. And the clock continues to roll toward 30 seconds.
I think Carterville will get the ball to start the third quarter as well. Look out. You cannot let Brandon Anthony get behind you. Herrin's probably got one more play. They do have a timeout, but you can't let Anthony beat you with a big play.
Carnes rolls, feels some pressure, cuts up inside, gets a hand on him, gets it away, and gets it to Brandon Anthony, who makes a move to the outside, and he's brought down out of bounds at the 45-yard line. That was a nice play and a nice effort by Brandon Anthony.
It was, but Carterville had players in position to make sure he wasn't going to break that for a touchdown. And Herrin's only got time for one play. So Carterville needs to finish this half off because it's been a very good first half for the Lions. Finish it on a high note.
This will be the last play. 3.5 seconds left. The ball at their own 45. Chance Carnes.
Yeah, they moved. Herrin moved. Their left tackle raised his head and his shoulders, and the official caught it. And at this point, it doesn't affect anything because this is going to be the last play, and it's only costing you 5 yards. But
well, they didn't want to get too close.
That's true.
They wanted to have plenty of field to operate on. So now they've got 60 yards. So Carnes throws it. That's just a duck, but it was caught by Hartline. But
That's the
He's
end of the
brought
first
down,
half.
and that's going to end the first half. So, as we head toward halftime, listen to the Carterville Lion fans. They're standing on their feet, giving their Lions a round of applause because they lead the Herrin Tigers 17-7 here at home. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Scott and I are going to talk about this first half of action and update scores from around Southern Illinois. 17-7, Carterville leads Herrin. It's halftime here on News Radio WJPF. Yes, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Murphy Wall State Bank is raffling an Apple Watch. If you would like to participate in the raffle, please see the boosters table by the press box.
We're at the half here at Carterville High School. I'm Dave McKenzie, Scott Hudson, 17-7. Carterville leads Herrin.
Difference a week can make. Carterville was 17 unanswered points. Remember, Herrin's only score tonight came on a botched punt as it went over the punter's head into the end zone, and Herrin recovered for the 7-0 lead. And right after that, Carterville got the ball down, went down and scored, and it's been all Carterville since then. Carterville's offensive line is pushing Herrin around. Carterville's defensive line is not allowing Herrin to get any big. They've had one big run on the ground, but Carterville very impressed with the way they've played on both sides of the ball tonight.
Yeah, and let's run through how the first half went. Carterville kicked off to Herrin, and on the second play from scrimmage, it was Chance Carnes that felt pressure as he dropped back to throw. That pass was picked off by Ben Hake of Carterville, and right out of the get-go, Carterville has the ball at the Herrin 14-yard line after that interception.
That was the perfect scenario for Carterville to have happen. Early in the game, you get a little momentum, but Carterville went down there and went backwards. Had a penalty, then had the ball snapped over Downing's head on 3rd and long, and Carterville came away with nothing from a great opportunity.
On that drive, Carterville started with the ball at the Herrin 14. Here's how it went after that. The Herrin 19, the Herrin 16, the Herrin 21, the Herrin 37. They just went back. They wind up punting. Then Herrin gets the ball back, and they drive, a 13-play drive. They get the ball down to the Carterville 9-yard line, but Jake Baumgart could not convert on the field goal. Carterville takes over at their own 20. They run one play, and that's how the first half ended. It was 7. It was no score at the end of 1. Carterville, 3 plays later, it was a fumble that was recovered by the Carterville Lions, by Herrin in the end zone on that punt. Herrin led it 7-0. Then Carterville gets the ball back, a 39-yard touchdown run pass from Downing to Bryce Anderson. That evened the score 7-7.
Yeah, Carterville really, I was very impressed that after the quick score by Herrin on the mistake on the punt, that Carterville was able to come down, go down the field and score, and then you kind of let out a sigh of relief. Okay, you're back in this game, everything's even, and let's go from here.
Herrin gets the ball back, and on the first play from scrimmage, they fumble it. It's recovered by Nick Brown. Carterville's back in business, and they score on a 32-yard field goal from Caleb Knight. They lead at 10-7. Herrin gets the ball back. They can't do anything with it. Carterville, after the Herrin 7-play drive stalls, and Carterville gets it back, and they go on an 11-play drive. They pick up 5 first downs, and it's capped on the 12-yard touchdown run by Rafe Tuttle. And after the extra point, they lead at 17-7, and that's where we stand here at the end of the first half.
Tuttle had an outstanding first half, running the ball, running hard, and Preston Sumner, who really didn't have a good game last week running the ball, really asserted himself in that first half. He was running strong, he was running hard, he was getting to the edge quickly, and then using that speed. I thought Carterville's ground game was very good in that first half.
Scott and I, at the conclusion of our game, will name our Joe's Lawn Care and Snow Removal Star of the game. If I had to make you pick right now, who would that be?
Boy, you'd have to give credit to the offensive and defensive lines, but if you can only go one guy, I think I'd have to give it to Tuttle, because Tuttle's made some big stops on defense from his middle linebacker position. As I said, he's run hard. He got the touchdown to put him up 17-7 late in the first half. This just looks like a different Carterville team. So if I could give out an award to everybody, I would, because that was a team effort in that first half.
This Lions broadcast brought to you by State Farm, with more drivers than any other company. Get to a better state with Tony Gates. Tony Gates, State Farm. 17-7 as the Carterville Pride of the Lions marching band is on the field. New uniforms for them. They look pretty sharp. And it's just been a good evening for the Carterville Lions. Both of these teams a week ago suffered losses. Carterville, a blowout loss on the road at Benton. Herrin gets blown out at Waterloo in just a miserable night. It was a game that was delayed for 2.5 hours by rain, and I'm thankful every day that you and I weren't there. But they picked it back up about 10:30, and but an emotional night against that Waterloo team. And I also want to give a shout out to Herrin Tigers for what they did for the state trooper, and please forgive me for not remembering his name, but Carterville came out on the field hand in hand with the Waterloo players. They made a donation, a sizable donation, to that family's for that family of that trooper. Just the highest regards for the Herrin Tigers in that.
Well, it just shows that we are watching, and these kids are playing a sport, and that's what it is, a sport. It's not life or death, and for high school kids to come up and do something like that, I think it shows that there's hope for our next generation. And it was a great, generous thing that the Herrin High School players and coaching staff did for that family. A very emotional night, obviously, for Waterloo. And it just makes you realize that we can sit here and watch a game where there's fumbles and interceptions and turnovers and touchdowns, but it's a game. And I think when you see something like that, it puts everything into perspective.
Absolutely. And once again, that represented everybody, not just Herrin, but they did such a good job. And we saw, I think it was last night in Texas, those two El Paso schools played, and similar situation where they came together after the tragic shootings back a couple of 3 weeks ago. And so we see that more and more. At least it's more publicized, maybe is the best way to put it, because it seems odd from time to time to see something like that.
Well, it is, and it's unfortunate that it takes sometimes an incident like that to bring communities or people together. But it is good to see that people rally around each other, that they care about the next person next to them, regardless of color of skin or whatever the case may be. And it's just good to see that as I said, there is hope when you have, especially young people. Young people who are smart enough to realize what's going on in the world, and they want to be part of something like that.
Let's update a couple of scores that have just come in and updated. Murphy leads Anna Jonesboro 29-8 with a minute left in the second quarter. Of course, next week, Scott and I, we're going to go see the new turf in Murfreesboro at Doc Benzini Field and take on the Murfreesboro Red Devils. At the half, Marion leads Jerseyville 16-2. I think that's the home opener tonight for Marion.
It is, and they are at home next week to Highland. So Kerry Martin with a big win last week at Muhammad Seymour on the road, and he's got a very young team, but they're playing well.
Now, I also want to update you on the story that we got a few minutes ago that was breaking. Former St. Louis Cardinal Chris Duncan has passed away He was at home in Tucson, Arizona, and he'd been battling brain cancer for the last few years. He was 38 years old, of course, the son of former Cardinals pitching coach Dave Duncan. Played in the majors in 2005, became a force in 2006, played for the Cardinals. He had 22 home runs his rookie season, 19 after the All-Star break. He was just a great guy. You would listen to him on St. Louis radio. He was a great broadcaster. And Chris Duncan, former St. Louis Cardinal, passes away today at the age of 38. 17-7 the score here at halftime. We're going to go on and take our final break. When we come back, we'll have second half action here on News Radio WJPF. Run them out, buddy.
Be sure to look for the Carterville Lions in the three-pair parade.
Seventeen to 7 as the Carterville Lions lead the Herrin Tigers, getting ready for third quarter action here on News Radio WJPF. And the Herrin Tigers are out of the locker room. They're down starting their warm-ups. Coach Brett Dow, I'm sure that was in a very excited Carterville Lion locker room at the half.
No question. I think he's got to temper their emotion a little bit. You know, he probably told them, look, guys, there's still a half of football to play. You've got to play the second half like it's 0-0. But he's got to like what he's seen from both sides of the ball. Yeah, they had some miscues with the high snap over the punter's head. But Carterville will get the ball first to start the second half. If they could go downfield, punch one in, that could go a long way in determining the outcome of this game. And I will mention that Herrin last week, they were losing 16-0 at half, came out and scored the first 14 points to make that a game. So Herrin's not going to go away. I'm sure they went in there and they made some adjustments. So Carterville has got to keep up playing the way they did in that first half.
You got to remember, right there before the end of the half, a big pass that, of course, Carterville covered it well and ended the half. But Brandon Anthony's got good hands. You can see that he's a fine receiver. He didn't play football prior to this year, right?
No, he is not. He's actually,
a basketball guy.
He came up to Coach Carnes sometime during the summer, said, hey, I'd like to play football. And he said, okay, they brought him out. Of course, you got to utilize his speed because, he's not going to be a guy that's going to run anybody over, but you get him in the open field, and he can make big plays. So I think Herrin came into this game after they watched game film of Carterville and Benton thinking that they could probably run the ball on Carterville, and that really didn't happen in the first half. So you might see Herrin open it up a little bit in the passing game, but already through 6 quarters of football, Chance Carnes has thrown 3 interceptions, so they might be a little reluctant to rely on his arm to get them back in this game.
Brandon Anthony's not a very big guy. He only stands 5'11", 135 pounds is what he's listed on the roster. But, man, we know on a basketball court he can fly, and that converts very well to a football field.
Yeah, he's very shifty. Again, you get him in the open field, and, you hope that you have the angle on him if you're a defensive back. And you also have to hope that you got help as well. But Carterville will get the ball. Let's see what they can do with it as we get ready to start the third quarter.
This Lions broadcast brought to you by Charlie's Air Conditioning and Heating, downtown Carterville. For installment or repair, call 985-2502 and get back to comfort this season, proudly supporting the Carterville Lions. There's a Carterville Free Fair, something right there. Don't forget about the city of Carterville. The free fair continues. Tonight was the 5K, but tomorrow the parade in Carterville will start at 10 o'clock. At 1 o'clock, there's going to be free ice skating for kids 6 months to 6 years old at the community building. Of course, that's brought to you by the Lions Club. And then tomorrow night at Cannon Park, it's going to be the Righteous Rebel Band. It's a free concert. Bring your lawn chairs. Great evening of entertainment. Weather-wise, it's going to be fantastic. And get out and enjoy the Carterville Free Fair as it will end coming up tomorrow. And the city of Carterville, don't forget, after the Carterville Free Fair, the next event coming up will be the Pumpkin Path, October 31st. In beautiful downtown Carterville. I'm Dave McKenzie, Scott Hudson alongside. Eric joins back at the studio doing a fine job tonight. And we're glad to have you. Don't forget you can watch second half action if you go to our YouTube channel. Just search Herrin Tigers at Carterville Lions. The officials are, they've had their halftime hot dog and popcorn. And they are minimally stretching out at midfield. And we still have a minute and a half left. There's a good crowd. Look at the crowd. I just now actually really kind of noticed it all around the fence here at Carterville High School, and it's turned out to be a beautiful night. That breeze continues out of the north, and you finally quit sweating a little bit?
I did. A man of my size, you kind of sweat a little bit. So, but it has turned out to be a nice evening. We haven't seen any cramping on either side. That's a good thing. And when these two teams play, I don't care if it's basketball, football, baseball, whatever the case may be, there's always going to be a good turnout. And as I said in the pregame, the last 3 years that these two teams have played, these games have been decided in the fourth quarter. And I know a lot of people coming into this game tonight probably thought, well, after what happened last week, even though Herrin lost, Carterville might be in trouble. But Carterville has really dialed it up tonight in the first half, and we just hope, Carterville fans hope that they can continue that here at the start of the third quarter.
49-35 a year ago at Herrin. I believe the year before that it was 7-6 was the final.
7-6.
A 1-point game. Carterville missed an extra point, and Herrin won that game here on this field 2 years ago.
Well, actually, 2 years ago was when Christian
Rawlinson
was a quarterback. Carterville almost rallied, got to within 7, and had the ball driving for the tying touchdown, but couldn't punch it in. So all 3 games have been exciting.
Bryce Anderson and Carson Pearson are deep. Carterville will be moving from left to right on your radio dial. The kick is in the air, and it's going to be into the end zone. Carterville's going to let it go, so Carterville will start things off from their own 20-yard line, first down and 10. This Lions broadcast is brought to you by our friends at American Monument Company, proud supporter of Carterville Lions sports. American Monument Company located on South Court Street in Marion, where their monuments have that special touch.
If Carterville can continue to run the ball well, it's going to open up the passing game for Downey. We saw that with the big touchdown pass to Anderson in that first half. But the Carterville offensive line has got to keep doing a great job of opening holes for both Tuttle and Sumner in the backfield.
Quarterback Eli Downing has Preston Sumner in the backfield, 2 receivers right. Down in from the shotgun. Takes the snap, gives it to Preston Sumner. He's hitting that line now. He's running hard. He brings it to the near sideline. 10-plus yards on the carry. That is what we've expected to see out of Preston Sumner.
Well, what he's doing is he's turning the ball upfield a lot quicker than he did at Benton. A lot of times at Benton, he would be headed towards the outside and he would never turn it up. But now he's getting to the line of scrimmage and going north and south.
And let's give credit to those that are getting out in front of him and making those blocks. And he's following the blocks, which is what you want to do. 1st and 10 from the 33, a gain of 13 for Sumner. It's Rafe Tuttle now with the carry. He battles his way out to about the 37-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 4 yards for Carterville.
Carterville's just switching Sumner and Tuttle in, if not every play, every other play to keep them fresh.
2nd down and 6 for the Lions from the 37-yard line. Carterville in their home blues, Herrin in their road whites. Downing has Tuttle behind him in the backfield. Gives it to Tuttle. Tuttle waits on a block. He doesn't get it, and he's brought down short of the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a loss of 1, and bringing up 3rd down now and 7 for the Lions.
Herrin defensive line did a good job of not letting Tuttle get anything going once he hit the line of scrimmage. So it's going to bring up 3rd and long. And let's see what Carterville can do here on a big 3rd down for both teams here early in the 3rd.
Carterville wants to keep this drive going. Coming into the game for the Lions is going to be Carson Pearson. He meets Eli Downing, Rafe Tuttle in the huddle. That offensive line, they come charging out of the huddle. They're ready to go. 17-7 the score. Downing takes the snap. He looks to throw. Has a man cutting across the middle. The ball is thrown up. It's picked off. It was overthrown again. And defensively for the Herrin Tigers, that is Gunnar Gosha with the interception.
Well, worst case scenario, that's like a punt.
Yep.
So it's not the worst case scenario, but the Carterville receiver was not open. Matter of fact, the defensive back Gosha was behind him, and that's a play you just got to throw away or just take off and run.
Herrin has the ball. 10:08 on the clock here in the 3rd quarter. Just from a momentum standpoint, Carterville didn't want to do that.
No.
Herrin spread out offensively. 3 receivers right, 2 to the left. Carnes takes the snap, keeps it, runs out across the 40, and he's slammed to the turf by number 52 for the Carterville Lions. That's Ivan Jones. He picked up some big yards, but he paid the price.
Yeah, he picked up about 8. This is what Carnes did in the second half at Waterloo. He basically became their offense.
It's 2nd down and 1 from the 42. Carnes looks toward the Herrin sideline. Coach Jason Carnes over there signals in. Chance Carn sets his offense. Takes the snap, drops back, feels some pressure, steps up. He's banged down at the 45-yard line, but that's going to be enough for a Herrin 1st down.
Yeah, he got pressure on the outside, and he didn't have a chance to look downfield, so he had to take it and run.
9:15 as the clock rolls here in the 3rd quarter. A 10-point game for the Carterville Lions. They lead Herrin 17-7. 1st down and 10 from the 46. Again, 3 receivers right, 2 to the near side. Ball on the near hash. Carnes takes the snap, quickly throws a screen out to the right side. That is Brandon Anthony that catches it. He's dropped after picking up about 3, maybe 4 yards, bringing up 2nd down for Herrin.
Well, good job by the defensive backs at Carterville on that far side to collapse on Anthony. Once he got the ball, he was not allowed to get up ahead of steam.
8.5 on the clock.
And one thing I like, and I know it's only 3rd quarter, but Herrin's taking a lot of time off the clock before they run a play. And quite frankly, even though it's 3rd quarter, that plays in Carterville's favor.
Absolutely. 2nd and 7 from the 49. Carnes keeps it. He's wrapped up by about 3 Carterville Lions. Short gain, they're going to mark it as a gain of 2. bringing up 3rd down and 5 now.
A big 3rd down for both teams. They're going to give him, maybe 3rd and 5, long 4. This is a big play here. Carterville could stop them, get the ball back, keep the momentum on their side.
That would be fantastic, especially after that interception on the previous possession by the Lions. 3rd and 4 from the 48. Carnes sets, takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself, and he has enough for a 1st down as he was hitting short about the line of scrimmage, but he hopped and was able to fall just past the yard to gain 1st down and 10 for Herrin.
Yeah, the defensive end for Carterville on the right side just wasn't able to get there quick enough. And Herrin continues this drive.
1st and 10 from the 43. 7:15 on the clock. Carnes. That spread offense, Herrin stayed in it here in the 2nd half so far. Put a man in motion. There's a bad snap. Brandon Anthony's going to have to get it. He picks it up on one hop, cuts it to the far side, and he is going to be tackled on the far sideline. Just so happened the snap went over the head of Chance Carnes, and Brandon Anthony, who was in motion, picks it up on one hop and gets it back just short of the line of scrimmage.
Well, that's what you call a good break, because that ball bounced right up to Anthony.
Yes, it did.
I mean, it could have gone any way, but for Carterville, it's a bad break, but still, 2nd and long for Herrin.
2nd and 11 from the 44. Carnes takes the snap. That one's good. He feels some pressure. He spins out of it, takes it up near the 40-yard line, and he keeps battling a late flag. We've got some extracurriculars in the backfield for the Rafe Tuttle and for the Herrin Tigers. I don't have a number on that.
My guess would be the flag, well, it could be offsetting.
I would say
because they were both involved. But we'll see what. I figure that's what they would call unsportsmanlike on both teams.
Offsetting penalties for unsportsmanlike conduct.
So this should be 3rd down, right?
Yes. Should be 3rd and 8 is the way I'm looking at it.
Okay, they hadn't moved the marker yet, so.
That's what it's going to be, 3rd and 8 from the 41. Just over 6 minutes remaining here in the 3rd. All right, everybody resets. The officials are ready. Whistle blows. 3rd down and 8 from the 41. Carnes puts Anthony in motion. Fakes the handoff, throws it down the left side, and it falls.
Incomplete. No, I'm going to say he caught it.
He did catch it, and on the catch for the Herrin Tigers, Jake Baumgart. Man, he did a nice job hanging on to that.
Well, it was thrown behind Baumgart. Carnes had to throw it quickly, and the Carterville defensive back, I believe that's Pearson, could not stop and come back on the ball. So that's a big play by Herrin.
1st and 10 from the 23-yard line. Herrin's football, and they're threatening here midway through the 3rd quarter. It's the handoff to Brandon Anthony. 3 Carterville Lions right there. 4, 5, 6 Carterville Lions right there to wrap up Brandon Anthony. He was spinning and spinning and spinning like a Tasmanian devil, but no place to go, and Carterville's D held strong.
Well, Carterville did a good job of not letting him get to the outside. They forced the play back towards the middle where he's got help.
I didn't do the Tasmanian devil sound effect with that. I'm going to have to work on that for next game.
Okay.
So it's 2nd down and 9 from the 22. Carnes has Darian Anthony in the backfield right on his left hip. Shifts him to the right side now. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Carnes looks to throw. Pump fakes, get the defense in the air. Finally throws it, and it's knocked down, or actually incomplete. Darian Anthony out of the backfield was the intended receiver, hit him right in his hands, and I thought he was the defender. Yeah, he just looked like he slapped it to the ground.
He dropped the ball. Carnes did a nice job of avoiding the pressure. but that'll bring up 3rd and 9 in what is 4-down territory. Now, I say 4-down territory. They could bring Baumgart in to try a field goal to get within a touchdown if they don't get the first down here. But it would be a long field goal attempt.
4:44 on the clock. 3 receivers left, 1 to the far side. And running back in the backfield. The throw down the far sideline is caught. Touchdown, Herrin Tigers. I believe Reese Hartline
got
with the
behind the
touchdown.
defensive back in the end zone, and Herrin caps off a long drive and pulls to within 3 with an extra point.
Carnes to Hartline. That at the 4:38 mark of the 3rd quarter makes the score 17-13. So it is going to be Baumgart that comes on to do the kicking. Carbondale leads Granite City 28-18 at the half. 17-13 before the extra point. The snap, the hold, the kick is good. 17-14 with 4:38 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. We'll be back here on News Radio WJPF. That was a good drive.
Yep.
30 here, please. This Lions broadcast is brought to you by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 702, the proud sponsors and supporters of Carterville Lions Sports. IBEW Local 702, providing a better lifestyle for members and a better life for all. 17-14. 4:38 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Dandy ball game. It always is with Herrin.
Yeah, and Herrin converted a lot of 3rd downs on that drive to keep it going, and then the touchdown pass to Hartline in the end zone. Carterville's only up by 3 now. Let's see if they can get something going offensively.
Nashville leads Massac County 56-21. That is at the half. Nashville won last week in a blowout win, shutout win, I believe. And we'll meet them in week 5. I won't be here for that game again.
Okay. It's here. So
I know. So Carterville has the football. This will be their 2nd possession. That last drive for Herrin went 11 plays.
Again, they converted several 3rd downs. Carterville got them in those 3rd down situations, but just couldn't come up with a big defensive stop. And now Carterville's going to have to try and answer here.
Carterville has it at their own 20. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. They lead by 3. 4.5 left here in the 3rd quarter. Downen, receivers left and right. Downen's going to keep it off left tackle as he was the read option. Preston Sumner in the backfield, and Downen elected to keep it, and he picks up about 5 yards, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 5.
Well, Downen's a big boy. He's hard to bring down, and usually it's going to take more than one defender to bring him to the ground. And that was a nice pickup on a play that looked like was going to go nowhere.
They do give him 5 yards on the carry, 2nd and 5. The clock continues to roll. Now 2 receivers to the right side. Bryce Anderson, Carson Pearson. Preston Sumner takes the handoff, cuts it to the outside, across the 25, the 30, the 35, and he may be hurt, and he is down on the near sideline, and he's got a cramp in his left thigh. He made a little hop as he come across the numbers, and you can see that's where it locked up on him, and they'll get him stretched out, get some water in him.
Yeah, he may have picked up more than what he did if he doesn't have that cramp. But it was enough for a 1st down.
He's run hard tonight for the Carterville Lions. 1st and 10 now from the 41-yard line. In the backfield, it's Rafe Tuttle replacing Preston Sumner. They've been switching off and on all night. It is Tuttle with the carry out across the 45 down to about the 49-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 48.5, a gain of 7. Second down and 3 for the Lions.
Carterville's running game continuing to churn out big yards. Second and short. These are the situations you want to be in. Not that at this point you're going to try to pull a fast one on Herrin and throw the football, but it gives you that option.
8-yard gain by Tuttle. Second and 2 from their own 49. 2 receivers spread to the far side. That's Bryce Anderson, Carson Pearson. It's the give to Tuttle. Tuttle battles his way across the 50-yard line. They ought to give him, that was closer to that than a first down, but they're going to mark it right at the 50. Going to be about a yard short.
Yeah, I think it's going to be
3rd and 1.
A yard at the most, maybe less. I'm not so sure. I'll play coach here. I have down and go up underneath center and just go forward. You're not going to be able to stop down. And
his feet are that big. He could just step forward, and it should be.
I would get under center, and I would go.
3rd and 1. 2:08 on the clock. Downing gives it to Tuttle, and that's going to be close, but it's going to be short, bringing up 4th down for the Lions.
I think, yeah, boy, that's a bad spot.
He picked up more than that. He picked up a half yard, but
I go for it here. I know.
I would too.
I know it's a crucial part of the game, but I would put down and under center. I would put down and under center and just have him go forward. You know, you had 2nd and 2, and in 2 plays you weren't able to get 2 yards.
Eli Downing.
I think
they're going to take a timeout.
Yeah, they're going to take
play
a timeout.
Clock is down to 5 seconds. 4, 3. They get the timeout. We're going to take a break as well. 17-14, a minute 22 remaining here in the 3rd. Carterville, critical 4th down play coming up here on News Radio WJPF. 30, please.
Yeah, I would just line him up under center. You could fall forward for that. I mean,
yep.
And this may sound simple or obvious, but on 4th and 1 or less, if you snap the ball back in the shotgun.
4th and 1 or less, you were saying.
Well, if you snap on 4th and 1 or less, if you snap the ball back in the shotgun, you've gone from 4th and 1 to about 4th and 5 or 6. And that's tough to ask the offensive linemen to hold those defensive linemen off. So Carterville's going to go for it. I don't blame them. And Downing is going to go under center.
They must have heard you down there.
Well,
how about that? They listened. 4th and 1. And
he
look at Rafe Tuttle. He puts his helmet right in the back of Eli Downing, and that's going to be enough for a Carterville first down, just like Tom Brady does it.
Yep.
1st down and 10.
Keeps the drive going, keeps the clock going.
2nd first down on this drive. This will be play number 7 as the ball is at the 49-yard line of Herrin. Minute 13 on the clock. It's a 3-point game. The Lions lead it 17-14. Herrin just scored on a 22-yard pass from Carnes to Hartline to pull within 3. Carterville needs to respond here. Downing from the shotgun. Gives it to Rafe Tuttle. He makes his way across the 45. Down inside the 45 to the 43. Get up, Rafe Tuttle. A little slow. He's tired. He needs a drink, I think is what.
Well, he probably wouldn't even be in there right now, but Sumner's over here on the sideline still working out the cramps in his left leg. So Rafe's going to have to be the bell cow at least for the rest of this drive possibly.
2nd down and 4. The clock winds its way under 30 seconds.
This will be the last play of the 3rd quarter.
20 seconds. Downing again from the shotgun. 2 receivers left. He keeps it. Nice fake to Rafe Tuttle, but down and tried to get to the outside. He picked up like 2. Boy, that was a good fake, though, right around the defender.
So bring up 3rd and about 3.
Yep.
As we head to the 4th.
3rd and 3 from the 42-yard line. That ends the third quarter. It is 17-14. The Lions lead Herrin by 3. Fourth quarter action next here on News Radio WJPF. 60, please, 60. Back here at Herrin, I'm Dave, or at Carterville, I'm Dave McKenzie. Carterville has the football as we start play here in the fourth quarter. They lead by 3. Downen takes the snap, gives it to Tuttle across the 40, the 35, and
now
down
we've got
inside
a penalty
the 35.
flag, and that's probably going to bring it back. Boy, that is you just picked up a huge first down, and where it was thrown, I'm going to guess it was defensive holding, or offensive holding, and it is. Boy.
That's the 4th penalty on the Carterville Lions.
That is a killer.
The 3rd and 1 carry, and man, Tuttle had about 10 yards on that carry, but it's going to be brought back.
That is tough. Sometimes it's not how many penalties you have, but when they occur. And that was the worst possible time for a Carterville holding penalty.
You're exactly right. So instead of first down, now it's going to be 3rd and 12. After they march off 10 yards on the penalty, back to.
And unless you gain 8 or 9 yards here, you're going to punt the football.
That's a 15-yard penalty.
Well, that hurt.
17-14, 3rd and 12 now. Downen. Screen near side, off the hands of Bryce Anderson. Falls incomplete. Bryce is not very tall. And
no.
I don't know if we need to introduce Eli and Bryce because he's overthrown him about 3 times tonight.
Yeah.
Eli Downen, 6'4". Bryce Anderson, not 6'4".
Right.
That's what you need to know.
Yeah.
Carson Pearson, not 6'4".
I think what again, I'm going to play coach here. I think what I would have done on that play is I do the same thing, but I pump fake the throw and then have Anderson go straight down the sideline. But Carterville's going to have to punt after promising.
Ooh, that was close. Caleb Knight gets the punt away. It's a beauty, and Brandon Anthony takes it 2 yards into the end zone, and he tried to run it out, but you can't do that. It's a touchback, and Herrin is going to get the ball back with 11:24 remaining, and they're down by 3.
Well, Carterville's defense going to have to answer now. You cannot let Herrin go on one of those long drives like they did in the third quarter and end up with points.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line, this Lions broadcast. It is brought to you by Home Renew, serving all of Southern Illinois. Protect what matters most with Home Renew for roofing, siding, storm damage, repairs, and gutters, giving you peace of mind. Call 694-9100 Home Renew. 1st and 10 from their own 20. Carnes feels a little bit of pressure, and he finally is brought down. He thought he was going to be able to get away, and I tell you what, he went down awkward, and he kind of got his
knee.
Yeah, he got his knee wrapped up underneath him, and but I don't know, it looks like maybe it's a cramp. He's trying to stretch out. So
a loss of about 3.
Second
2nd down and 13 from the 17 for the Herrin Tigers. Carnes, 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Spread offense for Coach Jason Carnes. His son, Chance Carnes, takes the snap. Runs right up the middle. Somebody got a hand on him, slowed him down, and he's not even going to make it back to the original line of scrimmage.
Boy, good job of a jersey tackle. And that, I'm having a hard time reading the numbers.
Remember back in the day when we had tearaway jerseys?
That's right.
It would have just.
Ivan Jones, the sophomore.
And his name has been announced several times here tonight. He's played a heck of a game.
Another big third down for both teams.
3rd and 10 from the 20. Carnes again, the spread offense. He looks to throw deep down the right side, puts the ball up, almost picked off. Carson Pearson. I can't read that number.
I think it is Carson Pearson.
Over on the
Number
far
8.
sideline, got his hands up on it, just couldn't hang on to it. And now it's 4th down and 10 for the Herrin Tigers. And they'll be forced to punt.
Big stop by the Lions. That ball was a little underthrown by Carnes, which allowed Pearson to knock the ball down.
So
you got to watch Carnes here because he's the punter, and he can take off and run.
Absolutely. They have a man they have to get off. That was Cameron D'Amico that had to rush off the field. Carnes gets the punt. Little rugby-style kick. Hits it about the 48-yard line. That's where it's going to be.
By Carterville.
It's going to stay. Carterville's going to have outstanding field position as they're going to start at the 46 of Herrin. 17-14, under 10 to go here in the third. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is Lions football on News Radio WJPF. Carterville with the football. It's the handoff to Rafe Tuttle, and he doesn't even make it back to the line of scrimmage. Carterville leading it here 17-14 after a big defensive stand. The Lions defense forces Herrin to punt.
Herrin knows what Carterville's going to do. They're going to try to run the ball, run clock, and now we've got a Carterville Lion hurt on the field, although it appears to be a cramp from here. You know, don't really look for anything crazy out of Carterville's offense, but at some point you might need to fake the ball into the belly of Tuttle and maybe a quick pitch to somebody going to the outside, because Herrin is just stacking the box because they know that Carterville just wants to run the ball and run time off this clock.
I think that may be Tuttle on the ground, that they're trying to get stretched out, and I saw that big Zach Blankenship took a water bottle over.
It is Tuttle.
It is Tuttle.
Sumner's still trying to work out his problems on the sideline. So now you've got your top two backs. I mean, Carterville I go back to the last drive they had where it appeared they had picked up a first down on 3rd down. They had the holding penalty. Now you've got Sumner and Tuttle out of the game.
Officials start the clock, and the Carterville offense on the near side. So in the backfield, it looks like it's going to be Nick Dawson. It's going to join Eli Downen at the running back position. Carterville sends 2 receivers far side, 2 receivers near side. And as we said, Nick Dawson, the running back, off the hip of Downen, gives it to the sweep man. There's a flag in the backfield, and back to about the original line of scrimmage. Going to bring up 3rd down, but we'll see what the penalty is.
Well,
I thought they called it against.
Probably against Carterville. I'm going to guess a hold again.
It is.
If I'm Herrin, I might decline this. Illegal substitution, I think that's what the call is.
It's a 10-yard penalty.
Yeah, illegal substitution. Carterville must have had 12 guys in the huddle. I mean, that just cannot happen.
2nd and 17 from their own 47. Downing throws it near side short, hops his receiver, Ben Hay.
Wide open.
At the 48-yard line, falls incomplete. And now it's going to be 3rd and 17 for Carterville from their own 47.
Well, Hake's a little taller than Anderson or Pearson.
He's 6'3".
And he throws it into the turf on him. But
maybe he's got his contacts upside down.
Hake was open. The defender was about 5 yards from him, and it was one-on-one.
Yep.
There was no safety around. So I'm not saying he would have got the first down or even taken it to the house, but it would have been a big gain.
8:54 on the clock. Downing. He's going to keep it across the 50. Runs his head down. Runs right over the top of the defender. Wow, what a hit by the quarterback, Eli Downing. And that's going to bring up 4th and 7 now after the gain of about 10 from Eli Downing.
And Carterville's going to punt, try to pin
them back.
Herrin deep in their own territory.
Wow, that was a hard hit.
But in Carterville's last 2 possessions, penalties have cost them big time.
4th and 7 from the 43.
Not a good punt.
The kick is taken at the 21-yard line, and it's actually taken by number 10. That's Cameron Everard. And so Herrin is going to have the football now. With 8:15 on the clock, they'll have it 1st and 10 at the 22. 17-14. Carterville has the 3-point lead.
Tuttle back in the game. That's good news.
We have one more conference halftime score. At the half, Nashville 56.
Murphy leads Anna Jonesboro 41-8. Don't forget, this Carterville Lions team will hit the road to Murfreesboro next week. Pregame show 6:45. Kickoff slated for 7, and Coach Carterville Lions want a timeout. We'll take a break as well. 17-14. Carterville up 3 here in the 4th quarter on News Radio WJPF. 30, please. 30. $8:15 on the 4th quarter clock. Dave McKenzie along with Scott Hudson. Lions lead it by 3. Marion leads Jerseyville late in the 3rd, 16-13. And as we gave a minute ago, Murphy leads AJ 41-8. Herrin has the football. 1st and 10 from their own 22. It's the give to the last man through on the counter, and man, I lost track of him, and he winds up 3rd and 1 from the 31. 7 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter, or the ball. 6:40 remaining in the game.
I still think Herrin's taking way too much time to get these plays off.
As Carnes brings his team to the line of scrimmage. He's going to keep it out across the 45, near the 50 where he's brought down. Actually, that was Caleb Stein with the carry, I believe.
Number 34, Caleb Stein on the carry.
Yes, it was.
He was met by number 8, Carson
Pearson in on the tackle as well. 1st down, and it's actually going to be 1st and 10 from the 49. Carnes, full house backfield, gives it to D'Amico. Off the left tackle, ball on the ground. Ball's on the ground, and who's going to get it?
Nope, let's see. Let's see. There's no signal. They're going to give it to Herrin.
There was a lion on the ground right there with it, but there was also a Herrin Tiger there too. That could have been huge.
Oh, that would have been huge. That's a 1st down for Herrin, I believe. And they got to move the change, which they haven't done yet.
10.
Nope, it's going to be the second and short. But, boy, Carterville had an opportunity to come up with a big defensive play right there.
Second down. And like 2 inches. 2nd and 1 from the 40. Carnes spins, gives it to the man through. First down, out to about the 36-yard line. 5 minutes exactly remaining in this game. Carterville leads by 3. Herrin's driving here late in the game.
If nothing else, Herrin wants to get into field goal position to try and tie this game. Carterville's defense, which has played well tonight, needs to come up with a big play.
It is nail-biting time, Scott Hudson.
All these Herrin-Carterville games have been like that the last 3 years.
4:36 on the clock. Carnes takes the snap, gives it to the first man through. D'Amico again, straight up the middle. Touchdown. 36-yard touchdown run by Cameron D'Amico, and that's going to give the Herrin Tigers the lead at the 4:27 mark. They lead it 20-17.
Well, Herrin has been the better team here in the second half. They've scored the only 2 touchdowns in the second half. Their first touchdown drive, they were in the spread. This time they're in the full house backfield and just dared Carterville to stop them. And now Carterville's offense is going to have to come through with only 4:27 to go in the game.
Cameron D'Amico, his biggest run of the night, a 36-yarder. Takes it to the house for the touchdown. Jake Baumgart on for the extra point. Here's the snap. The hold. The kick. Good. 21-17. Herrin leads it. Carterville's got 4 minutes and 27 seconds to try to take the lead, and a field goal won't tie it. We'll find out how it turns out next on News Radio WJPF. 30, please. Are we okay on spots? Okay.
Carterville's due to win one of these games.
Be nice to do it right here.
Well, penalties.
Yep. 4:27 left. Carterville's going to have one opportunity on this drive to try to take the lead. A nice crowd here at Carterville High School. Dandy ball game, 21-17. Herrin just took the lead in the game after the 36-yard run by Cameron D'Amico. It's going to be Bryce Anderson, Carson Pearson deep. Here comes the kick. Hits at the 5. It's taken by Carterville at the 2. And brought down at the 15. So 85 yards away from a touchdown. Carterville's got some work to do, Scott Hudson.
Yeah, they do. Carterville's played a pretty good game. Better first half than the second half, but still a pretty good game. But you've got to come up with some big plays offensively now. And Carterville only has one timeout left. So they've got to be very, very cautious, very aware of that. And we'll see if maybe Downen, maybe Sumner, maybe Tuttle can come up with a big play to send this Carterville crowd home happy tonight.
This Lions broadcast brought to you by Tony Gates State Farm. Bundle your home and auto insurance. Visit Tony Gates, your local neighborhood State Farm agent. Also brought to you by SIH. Creating a healthy Southern Illinois made stronger by acts of caring that transform lives. Visit SIH.net. Carterville on the first carry. They actually lose about 4 yards.
And Sumner's back down on the ground with cramps again.
He's at about the 12-yard line.
Number 7, Preston Sumner on the carry.
So it's 2nd down and 13 for the Lions. The ball loss of 3 on that carry as trainer Mike is out to deal with Preston Sumner. Don't forget, the Carterville Free Fair is going to continue tomorrow. 10 o'clock is the parade. There's activities all day long. Pet show, cakewalk, ping pong ball drop. Also, tomorrow night, 7:30, the Righteous Rebel Band will be the entertainment there at Cannon Park. 9:45, the raffles and drawings will be held. So, City of Carterville celebrating their Free Fair. Mayor Brad Robinson, the entire City of Carterville, proud sponsors and supporters of Carterville Lions sports.
I say it's a cramp. That's what we're hoping it is, but he's still down.
And he's got help. Preston Sumner is injured.
And they're going to help him up.
They try to get him on his feet, but he goes right back down again. It is pretty muggy out tonight. Not as bad as it was earlier in the day, but you got to make sure. Lots of fluid, lots and lots of fluids. You don't realize how much water you have to drink when it is this warm. Let's talk about next week. Carterville going to hit the road. They're going to go to Murfreesboro. Looks like Murphy is going to be 1-1.
Yep.
Going into week number 3.
I think this will be Carterville's biggest challenge of the first 3 weeks. Take nothing away from Benton or Herrin, but I think Murfreesboro's the cream of the crop on the Ohio side of the river to river this year, and they've got 3-4 backs that can really run the ball well. So it'll be a big game next week, but Carterville would love to go into that game with a come from behind win here at home tonight.
Murfreesboro, speaking of which, they lead at 48-8. A little over 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Also, St. Louis Cardinal fans, the Pirates lead the Cardinals 7-4. Let's see here. All right, so Preston Sumner comes to the sideline. It's 2nd down and 13. Ball at the 13. Downen, 3 receivers right, 1 near side. Downen's going to keep it, cuts it up at the 15, the 20, runs over the defender, skips his way out to the 25-yard line, and that is going to be just short of a first down, bringing up 3rd and 1 for the Lions.
Yep, you got to hurry up, get as many plays off as you can. As I said, you only have 1 timeout, and you've got a long way to go to get to the end zone.
You know, Herrin is thinking Downen's going to air it out.
At some point, he's going to have to. I think they want to just get out of the deep of their own zone to give him some more room.
Downen takes the snap. He's going to keep it again. Gets away. First down, Carterville. 35, 40-yard line, 42-yard line as he runs over the top once again of Herrin's Jake Gibson. First down, Lions.
Well, he's running hard. As you said earlier, he's kind of like a train. It gets him a little bit of time to get up to speed, but when he does, you better get out of his way. You're going to get run over.
And the other side of this takes a while to stop, too.
That's right.
1st and 10
kinda
from
like
the 42. 3 receivers right. Downen, snap, takes it, cuts right straight up the middle. 5, 7, 8 yards on the carry. Under 3 to go. It's going to be 2nd down and 3 for the Lions. From the 49-yard line, the clock continues to roll. Ball just short of midfield. Downen has Rafe Tuttle on his right hip. Rolls to his right, looks to throw, throws it far sideline, caught. That is Bryce Anderson with the catch. Run out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Carterville has something working.
Has it stopped the clock, and you pick up a first down.
First and 10 now for the Lions. They move the chains on the far side. The ball is at the 41-yard line. Excuse me, the 39-yard line. 2.5 on the clock, 9 on the play clock. Downing takes the snap. He's going to keep it again. He's met there by 2, 3, 4 defenders. Brought down at the 40, so that's going to be a loss of 1, and the clock is going to continue to roll.
Yeah, we're going to be under probably 2 minutes before Carterville gets its next play off. Went to the well maybe one too many times with that run by Downing. But at some point, you're going to have to put the ball in the air anyway.
2nd and 11 from the 40-yard line.
This is where Carterville's speed could make a big difference.
2 receivers far side, 1 near side. The ball snapped high. Downing gathers it in, throws it deep. Bryce Anderson, touchdown! Touchdown, Carterville Lions!
What a pass to Bryce Anderson, who somehow got behind the defensive back. He laid it up there for Anderson to run underneath, and Carterville has taken the lead with 1:54 to go in the game.
Downing to Bryce Anderson, 40-yard touchdown pass, 23-21, Carterville with the 2-point lead. This extra point is critical for the Carterville Lions. Here's the snap, the hold, the kick. Good, 24-21. A field goal can only tie the game for the Herrin Tigers. The Lions lead it by 3, 1:54 left. We'll be back here on News Radio WJPF. $30, please. Back at Carterville High School, they just took the lead by 3, 24-21. A 40-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Eli Downing to his receiver, Bryce Anderson.
Herrin has 1:54 and all 3 of their timeouts. That's a big deal.
They're going to send Brandon Anthony deep. He stands at the 8-yard line for the Herrin Tigers. Caleb Knight, the left footer, is going to kick it from the 40. 1:54 on the clock. The kick is going to be short. Anthony's got a return. He takes it at the 5, brings it to the 10, the 20, the 25, spins and fights his way out across the 30 to about the 31-yard line, and that's where Coach Jason Carnes and the Herrin Tigers are going to start.
How many times tonight has Carterville's defense been asked to come up with a big stop?
They're going to have to make another one here.
They've been out on the field a lot here in the 4th quarter.
No excuses. Make another stop here, boys. Hold tight. You know Chance Carnes, he's going to air it out. But don't turn your back on the running game.
Nope.
1st and 10 from the 31. Carnes from the shotgun. Gives it to Brandon Anthony. He's nice job defensively by the Lions. Can't get the number yet over on the far sideline, but they're going to give him about a half a yard, and we've got some chatting going on over some jawing at each other. And I'm glad the officials didn't throw the flag. Just break him up, let him get it back.
Now, the good thing is, not only did they stop him for no gain, they kept him in bounds.
2nd and 10 from the 31. Carnes takes the snap, throws it out near side. Brandon Anthony, the intended receiver, can't hold it, drops it. 3rd down and 10 now for the Lions.
Well, Carnes threw that at his feet. And he was kind of going backwards towards us, and he couldn't stop to pick it up off the turf.
Big defensive play right here for the Lions. Coach Brett Dial.
Now we got a penalty flag. Sideline infraction on Carterville. So there's
yeah,
no
because
penalty.
Coach for Carterville, Sean Gerald's with his hat backwards, jumped out on the number at the 50. He's yelling at his defense. He's the defensive coordinator. 3rd down and 10 from the 31. Carnes takes the snap from the shotgun, looks to throw, down the left side, up in the air. Nice catch on the far side by Jake Baumgart as they push the ball into Carterville territory. He went up over the defender and just hauled it in.
Yeah, I thought the ball had got knocked away. The defender for Carterville kind of got mixed up, but Herrin, as we go under a minute, trying to get
10
into
from the
field.
47. Throw down the right side. Brandon Anthony, the intended receiver, caught! No! Yes, they are going to give him the reception. It was held on to by both the defender and for Carterville, number 24, give credit to Graham Dinas, who was right there. But Herrin has something brewing. 52 seconds left. It's 1st and 10 from the 17.
Now, Herrin can go back into their base offense. Of course, Herrin's going to call a timeout, which they've got 3.
Great coverage by Graham Dinas. He was right there. Brandon Anthony, they were battling for the ball on the turf, and at the very end, it was Anthony that ripped the ball away from the defender.
Dinas never turned his head to see the ball. If he turns his head to the left, he either intercepts the ball or at the very least knocks it down.
Yep. What a ball game. 45 seconds left. Carterville leads it by 3. Herrin has the ball at the Carterville 17 and a timeout. Marion leads Jerseyville 24-17, 6 minutes left in that ball game. Scott and I will hit the road again next week. We'll be at Murfreesboro. 6:45 will be the game time, or the pregame show. 7 o'clock game time. And then we'll have the game right here on NewsRadio WJPF and on our YouTube channel. Brand new turf at Doc Benzini Field in Murfreesboro. Will be our first opportunity to see that. What a game we have here, though, with 45 seconds remaining. Herrin driving. They have it at the Carterville 17.
Now they're going into the full house backfield now. They're going to try to pound this between the tackles.
Watch for somebody to slip out. They do give it to the first man through. That is Darian Anthony. He's inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line as the clock continues to roll.
Well, they've got 2 timeouts left. They're going to take one here.
31 seconds on the clock.
Carterville just wants to keep this to a field goal attempt. Boy, if they could get a fumble here, I might jump out this window.
Here, tie this rope around your neck.
Gee, thanks.
OSHA approved, I promise.
Okay.
31 seconds remaining. 2nd down and 3. The ball rests at the 10-yard line. What a game, Scott Hudson.
Carterville,
just like always.
Yeah, Carterville with a big comeback. Then Herrin gets a big 3rd down pass play into Carterville territory. Then they get the big pass play down here around the 25-yard line. Good coverage really on both plays. But Carterville has got to keep Herrin out of the end zone on this play, because I don't think Herrin will run another play. They'll call a timeout and probably kick a field goal.
2nd and 3 from the 10. Carnes is going to keep it, tries to get to the outside, cuts it up, inside the 5, and brought down just inside the 5-yard line. That's going to be enough for a first down.
So now they can run one more play before they have, and Carterville, this is the play of the game here.
First and goal from the 5. Carnes gives it to his running back. He's met there by the defenders of Carterville. Short of the goal line, 12 seconds now remaining as Jason Carnes has to call a timeout. Look at him with his hands on the hips over on the far sideline.
Well, one thing he can do here, without a timeout, he can throw a pass to the end zone.
Absolutely.
And if it's incomplete, try the field goal. I don't know. They can't afford to run the ball here, I don't think. I mean, that would be a gutsy call if you run the ball here.
First and goal.
Because if you get stopped, game over.
2nd and goal from the 3. 12.2 seconds remaining. Scott and I will name our Joe's Lawn Care and Snow Removal star of the game. Coming up in our post-game show, we'll talk with head coach Brett Dial as well.
How about an interception in the end zone?
That
I'm calling
would
it
be
right now.
outstanding. If you are correct, we're going to the boat as soon as the game's over. 2nd and goal from the 3. Herrin with the football. Carnes. Powerhouse backfield. Under center. Takes the snap. Rolls to his left. Looks to throw. Touchdown, Herrin. Well executed, as it is Cameron D'Amico that slid out of the backfield on the little short dump from Chance Carnes. Herrin takes the lead, 27-24.
Yeah, you had to know he was going to throw the football. There was no way he was going to run it, although he had the option to, but you just have to know that he's going to throw that football. And Carterville is going to lose a heartbreaker here tonight.
This extra point is critical as well. Well, with 8 seconds left, there's not really anything that can happen. Miracles have happened. Cal Bears. But it's Baumgart on for the extra point. The kick is up. The kick is good. 4-point lead. 28-24. The Herrin Tigers have taken the lead over Carterville with 8 seconds remaining.
Lions 24 with 8 seconds remaining in the game.
We'll keep it right here. Heartbreaking for the Carterville Lions.
Yeah, what an effort tonight compared to last week against Benton, where Carterville only got past the 50-yard line one time. Tonight they put up 24 points, and it's going to be in a losing effort, it appears.
Murphy beat AJ 48-8. Marion leads Jerseyville 24-17. Here it is 28-24. Last score we had, Carbondale over Granite City, 28-18, but that was a halftime score. I've not seen any updates since. 28-24. What a just a great ball game, though.
They've always seemed to come down to the fourth quarter, and this one's no different. If you want to go back to a series of play, I go back to when Carterville had the 17-14 lead. Tuttle gets a first down at Herrin's 25, and there's a penalty for holding, and Carterville had to get rid of the ball.
Yep. Here comes the kick from Baumgart. It's going to be a squib kick on the ground. It's going to be taken at the 16. Carterville downs it with 6 seconds left at the 21-yard line, so that's where they're going to have it. With 0.6 seconds left, time for just one play.
A Hail Mary.
You know what's coming. Carterville has it at their own 21. Scott and I will name our Joe's Lawn Care and Snow Removal star of the game. Coach Brett Dial will join us here in the booth. And we just want to say thank you for listening to Lion Sports here on News Radio WJPF. 6 seconds remaining. 4 receivers to the far side, 1 near side. Downen takes the snap. He looks to throw. Near side, picked off. Ball game. 1 second remaining. 28-24, the interception.
There's a penalty on Herrin for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Is that Brandon Anthony
No,
with the
that's
interception?
Angel Lipinski.
Lipinski with the interception.
Yeah. No, well, that's not. That was, I think, Hartline with the interception, but Lipinski's going to get the penalty. But it's doesn't matter. They'll just mark it off, take a knee, and this ball game will be over.
Yep. 28-24. The Herrin Tigers are going to beat the Carterville Lions tonight. And what a great game. What a great game by these two teams. 4th year in a row. It's just been outstanding.
Yeah, 4 years in a row that Herrin has beaten Carterville in these close matchups. And
Gardens takes the snap. Kneels. postgame. Final score, 28-24.
Yeah, and Jason Carnes is grabbing two of his players as they made some derogatory hand gestures to Carterville's sideline. And I'm glad to see that because there is no need for those players to do what they just did toward the Carterville sideline.
28-24, the final score. Post-game show coming up next on News Radio WJPF. Go 90 here, please, 90. Harrisburg. 28-24, the final score. The Herrin Tigers beat the Carterville Lions here at Carterville. Week 2 of the football season. And it's a final score of 28-24. Carterville Lions, I gotta tell you, I know what Brett Dial's saying to his team right now. Keep your head up. That was a Carterville Herrin game. It is what it is, and you fought hard tonight, boys.
Yeah, this is a totally different Carterville team tonight than what we saw at Benton. And I know the kids are disappointed. They felt like after the Anderson touchdown, they probably had this game. And they just really couldn't in the second half come up with that big defensive stop when they needed it. But, it came down to basically the final play of the game. And, Herrin made the play and Carterville didn't. But this is a young Carterville team that's going to get better. And they've gotten tremendously better from week 1 to week 2. And you look at the Herrin team, that lineup of theirs is loaded with seniors. So nothing to be ashamed about, nothing to hang your head about if you're a Carterville Lion player. They played well tonight. They had a chance to win. It didn't happen. But they are not the same team that we saw last week.
Running down the scoring, it all started in the second quarter. It was no score at the end of 1, but Carterville had the football, and they were forced to punt, and the punt went over Carterville's punter, Caleb Knight's head. Herrin falls on it in the end zone at the 11:03 mark of the second. After the extra point, they lead it 7-0. Carterville gets the ball back. They take it right down the field, 5 plays. It was a 39-yard touchdown pass from Downen to Bryce Anderson at the 8:38 mark of the second. After the extra point, it's tied at 7. Then Herrin gets the football. They fumble it. Carterville gets it back, and on the 5th play of that drive, it was Caleb Knight that drilled a 32-yard field goal. Carterville took the 10-7 lead mark at the 7:10 mark of the second quarter. Herrin gets the football. They are forced to punt, and then Carterville gets it back. It's an 11-play drive that ended on a 12-yard touchdown run from Tuttle at the 47-second mark of the second. And as we head to half, Carterville leads at 17-7.
Carterville played an outstanding first half. Again, when you compare it to what they did the entire game at Benton, it was night and day difference. And Carterville had all the momentum going into the halftime, and they were going to get the ball to start the third quarter. But Carterville came out in that third quarter 3 and out, and that's when Herrin kind of took over.
Actually, Carterville had an interception. Their first possession, Gunnar Gosha intercepted the ball, and then they take the ball in on a 22-yard touchdown pass from Carnes to Hartline at the 4:38 mark of the third quarter. And at the end of 3, it was 17-14 Carterville. Then, after 2 possessions back and forth, Herrin gets the football. It was a 36-yard touchdown run from D'Amico at the 4:27 mark, 21-17. The score at that point. Carterville has a 40-yard touchdown pass from Eli Downen to Bryce Anderson at the 1:54 mark. Carterville takes the lead. Then Herrin gets the ball back. 8 plays, and it's a 3-yard touchdown pass from Carnes to D'Amico, the game winner, and that's how we end it, 28-24. We're going to be talking to head coach Brett Dial coming up here on our postgame show, and we'll do that here in about 60 seconds. You're listening to Lions Football on News Radio WJPF. How many we have left, Eric? Okay. Well, we'll talk to Coach, and then we'll take a break, and then get out. So. Back at Carterville High School, final score tonight was 28-24, and Carterville head coach Brett Dial, what a ball game.
Oh, I mean, our improvement from last week is just incredible, and to battle through some of the injuries and some of the guys that we had out, just to come to practice all week and work hard, not give up, and buy into a game plan that was 8 seconds away from from working, but. Man, these kids played hard. I just love the fact that we got some fight in us, and we just talked, out there in the huddle that, from day one, we're talking about climbing the ladder, getting a little bit better each week, that this whole thing's going to be a process. And we certainly made some improvements from week 1, and I definitely feel like we've got something we can work with now.
Coach, I think the thing I was impressed with the most tonight was your play on the line of scrimmage. On both sides of the ball, you were able to run the ball at will at times tonight. Your defensive line, especially in the first half, they were giving Herrin problems when they wanted to run the ball. To me, that was the biggest difference from last week.
Oh, absolutely. We really talked a lot this week about getting off the ball and trying to get downhill. And, we kept saying 3.3 this week. We want to get 3.3 yards a carry and, really work ourselves forward as opposed to sideways. I thought we got a little bit sideways last week and give a little bit of that credit to Benton. I mean, they were beating us up front and forcing things to bounce. But tonight we said, we're going to get after it. And, I give our line a ton of credit, and our running backs ran the ball hard, and we got downhill. And, what a good ball game.
And give credit to, on the outside, to the receivers that set the block, gave you the edge, because you were able to run the ball on the outside, not just between the tackles.
Sure. We were able to bounce the ball a little bit when they were starting to clog things up, and we had some, pretty big runs where I thought our kids made a lot of improvements from last week. I didn't think we blocked the edge very well last week. I thought we addressed that this week, and once again, we just got better, and if we can continue to make those kinds of improvements throughout the course of the season, we're not out of this thing. We're going to continue to go to work. I mean, we're not done. We're disappointed. We should be. It just, simply means we care about it. And but we're going to go back to work, and we're going to be here, tomorrow morning and take a look at some things. And next week we'll have a plan, and we're going to go to Murfreesboro ready to fight again.
Coach, one of the things in a game like this, you can look at one series, one half, or one play. And I think the play that stands out in my mind that may have been the difference in this game, you've got the 17-14 lead. You've got third and I think about 4 or 5. And Tuttle picks up a first down at Herrin's 25, and it comes back because of a holding penalty. And if you don't have the penalty, you may go in and who knows, maybe you seal the game there. But to me, that was the one play that might have made the difference in the second half.
Yeah, sure. I mean, holds are going to happen. We had some kids up front playing pretty physical tonight, and they were moving around a little bit. And, I'm never going to fault our linemen for getting off the ball and playing hard. And, that's a mistake at 100 miles an hour. And aggressive mistakes, that's going to happen, and we just got called for that one.
So that was a good ball game. And we said this before in the pregame. This is just a Williamson County rivalry game.
It's funny because, Herrin's a very good team, one of the best teams on our schedule, and it's exactly what we needed after that beatdown last week. We needed to get back out and play another game, and I think we needed to play a game against somebody that was going to get us a little bit, more hungry. And I think that we see now what we're capable of. And, I think that some of these young guys who, a week ago tonight had never played in the game have now played in 2 games, and one blowout and now one that comes down to the final minute. So we're just going to continue to get better. I mean, we're not done. We got a lot of youth, and these guys are going to, they're going to gain that experience. We're going to keep gaining that experience. We're going to keep working, and, it's going to go the right side here eventually. And when it does, and we get rolling, I think we could be pretty darn good.
I also love the fact that you could showcase some speed on the outside with your receivers and down and put the ball on the money.
Yeah, it was good to be able to get some guys isolated. And, Herrin's going to they have a very athletic secondary. So if we can isolate and get the ball up and throw the ball a little bit downfield against them, I think we can do it against anybody we play. I thought Eli had a great game. I thought he ran the ball really hard. He was a tough kid to bring down. It was unfortunate there about the midway through the third, early fourth, both of our fullbacks who we were just taking turns running, both of them cramp up and, just a bad time. But, those kids fought and they gave everything they had. And, I can't complain about our effort for sure.
28-24, the final score. Coach Brett Dial, great ball game.
Thanks, guys. We're just going to keep working.
Great game.
Thanks, guys.
Coach Brett Dial joining us here on the postgame show. Carterville Falls 28-24. And heading on the road to Herrin next week, 0-2, but I feel so much better about this team.
Well, the only thing we had to compare to tonight was last week, and quite frankly, that was not a good showing at Benton. But what I saw tonight, I agree with Coach Dial. This team is headed for bigger and better things. Do I think they're going to go 6-3, 5-4, 7? I don't know, but I do know this, and I think these kids need to realize something. One, as he said, this was the first time a lot of these kids have played 2 high school varsity football games back-to-back weekends. They proved to themselves tonight that they can play with one of the better teams in Southern Illinois, and they came darn close to winning this game. A break here, a break there, and Carterville's 1-1. They're not, but I think we saw a lot of things tonight that we thought we would see in week 1.
We need to name our Joe's Lawn Care and Snow Removal star of the game. And I don't know that we can name just one guy.
No, I know Carterville didn't win this game. But as we've said many times tonight, from last week to this week, it's night and day difference. And we've decided to give Joe's Lawn Care star of the game to the entire Carterville team. They played well. They gave it everything they had. They came from behind late in the fourth quarter to take the lead. Everything looked great, but they lost the game. And ultimately, that's the bottom line, wins and losses. But I just thought the effort by Carterville tonight was outstanding. It just didn't end the way they wanted to.
Rain or shine, sleet or snow, call Joe. Call Joe and Lindsey McCann at Joe's Lawn and Snow Removal, 534-8148. They specialize in commercial, residential lawn care, landscape maintenance, spring and fall cleanups. That's coming up. Snow removal, property maintenance, bush hogging. They do it all. Locally owned for over 20 years, and they specialize in commercial and residential lawn care. Give them a call, 534-8148. Rain or shine, sleet or snow, call Joe. Joe's Lawn Care and Snow Removal. The Carterville Lions team are Joe's Lawn Care players of the game. We're going to go on and take our final break. When we come back, we'll wrap this up and get you set for next Friday night. Next on News Radio WJPF. Run them out here, buddy. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much. We appreciate it. What a game. What a game. Hope you enjoyed it.
Where'd my grandson go?
Run them out. Let's get out of here. Bring it back to us, and we'll wrap it up in 30 seconds. We'll be done. (28-24), the final score. Herrin Tigers beat the Carterville Lions here at Carterville High School. And Carterville now 0-2, but I tell you what, they played such a good game, Scott Hudson. Next week, feel much better going to Murfreesboro.
Yeah, much better. I think Carterville feels like now they can play with most teams. Not going to be an easy task going to Murfreesboro. I still think they're the team to beat on the Mississippi or the Ohio side of the river to river. But Carterville's got to feel a lot better about their chances now after what they proved to themselves tonight that they can play with just about anybody in Southern Illinois.
6:45 will be the pregame show here on News Radio WJPF. 7 o'clock will be the kickoff. Thank you for listening here. Tonight, Carterville gets beat by 4 by the Herrin Tigers, cross-county rivals, 28-24. For my partner, Scott Hudson, for our producer, engineer back at the studio, Mr. Eric Joins, thank you for listening to Lion Sports here on News Radio WJPF. God bless. Thanks, buddy.